is coming from the sort of targets they are setting their offices. They are setting them unrealistic targets. So you say, and this is because the tax base is so narrow. So you say to them, this is your target for this month. They are trying to figure out, where do I go? Then, for them, it's very easy. You go back to where you got it the last time. Isn't it? You go to the taxpayers, the people who are already paying taxes. And then you have to come up with a new reason why they should pay more. So you come up with all sorts of stuff. I mean, they themselves sometimes, frankly, don't understand the tax code. There are a lot of good, hard-working people there. They are my friends. But I'm saying that the targets that they are set, these hard-working officers, sometimes are very unrealistic. And that leads to harassment of business. Because you have to get something out of them. And this is why you'll say prepay when you haven't earned 1 cent, 1 cedi, and you have to prepay. And so I've been looking at this very, very seriously. And we are going to change the system. We are going to change the system. So, as I have said, we are going to introduce a very simple and business-friendly tax system as we have in Estonia. Simple, flat tax. Anybody can calculate their tax liability just on the back of an envelope. You don't need any tax accountant, really, to tell you. We need a simple, flat tax system for individuals and for businesses with the appropriate exemptions threshold. And we are going to review the whole VAT structure to make it simple. Very, very.
How would you respond to your critics who say that you don't have a message?
You know, when a government moves from 9 billion cedis worth of debt that we leave them in 2008, and by 2012 they are at 36 billion, and then by this year they are at 105 billion. How could there not be a message?
You talk about different economies.
You create
the economy of 9 billion, the economy of
no, I'm talking about
billion.
The debt that they incurred.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they mentioned the economy of the 9 billion. That was a small economy. Now it's a huge one. No, and so they're taking more loans.
25% of debt to GDP. And now we are talking about 72% of debt to GDP.
I see.
So you have basically no fiscal space to do anything. And that's because you think you can borrow your way out of debt, which is not possible. And therefore the ideas of entrepreneurial creativity and really supporting businesses, not killing them with energy prices, inflation, devaluing currency. Those are the things that go to give economic freedom for people to operate. And I believe it is that we can bring back.
The currency's stability for these years, notwithstanding, you think it's a currency that's not doing well?
Well, the currency has not done well.
You have quite stable some few
It's been, yeah,
months.
I mean, these few months it has been quite stable. But you have moved from 1.2 to 4, unless you want to forget it, but that's real. You know, you can't brush it under the carpet. You have to accept that you came and met something and this is what you have done to it. Clearly you don't have the competence to keep an economy that stays within a certain debt to GDP model that maintains a currency at a point in which businesses can work, that provides energy to make sure that there's productivity. I mean, the gross savings of the country has been depleted. When you run deficits of double-digit figures for about 3 years, there's no savings left. And then corporates are therefore not producing as much as they do, so they don't have savings. And individuals like you and I, you know, you get your paycheck and it's over before you can say jack. So then there's no give, and you think that you can borrow to continue. So now interest payment now constitute the second largest government expenditure, from 680 billion or so that you used to pay in 2008, you are now paying 10 billion. Okay, so you have created a situation in which things are difficult, where private sector is just aghast at what it should do, where productivity has shrunk, and therefore you are compelled to increase taxes. So it's just a very vicious cycle that you are in, and until you get a fresh look at it, you are stuck and derailed.
Talking about the interest payment that you mentioned, your opponents are saying that what you're paying isn't all the loans that they took, and that the interest are some of the loans that your party took when you were in power some time ago.
Well, the issue for me, Bright, is if somebody says that, saying it is different from the fact.
Okay.
If you were paying 680 million cedis and you are now paying, literally 10 billion, which is, for interest payment, gives you no room to maneuver, and you want to blame somebody. And the question also becomes one of value for money. When you have a Legon hospital of 600 beds costing $220 million, and you have a rich rehabilitation of 200 beds costing $250 million, you begin to see how you lose money. And how then, these
problems. You won't care about the equipment in these facilities?
Well, I'm talking about value. 600 beds at 230 billion, new hospital, rehabilitation, So we can play with the margins as much as we want. In the end, the number will be written down. And the number leads to an impractical way in which to live. You won't do that in your household. Where you just keep borrowing, and where do you go next? So then you go to your neighbor to tax your neighbor. We are being taxed. I just saw a $90 million bond that the government did. The government is paying 6%. And Ghanaians are buying it. Meanwhile, they borrowed at 10% on international market.
All right.
So we have challenges.
How would you respond to your critics who say that you don't have a message?
When a government moves from 9 billion cedis worth of debt that we leave them in 2008, and by 2012 they are at 36 billion, and then by this year they are at 105 billion, how could there not be a message?
You talk about different economies.
You create
the economy of 9 billion, the economy of
no, I'm talking about
billion.
The debt that they incurred.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they mentioned the economy of the 9 billion. That was a small economy. Now it's a huge one.
No,
and so they're taking more loans.
25% of debt to GDP, and now we are talking about 72% of debt to GDP.
I see.
So you have basically no fiscal space to do anything, and that's because you think you can borrow your way out of debt, which is not possible. And therefore the ideas of entrepreneurial creativity and really supporting businesses, not killing them with energy prices, inflation, devaluing currency. Those are the things that go to give economic freedom for people to operate. And I believe it is that we can bring back.
The currency's stability for these years, notwithstanding, you think it's a currency that's not doing well?
Well, the currency has not done well.
You have quite stable
it's been, months. I mean, these few months it has been quite stable, but you have moved from 1.2 to 4, unless you want to forget it, but that's real. You can't brush it under the carpet. You have to accept that you came and met something and this is what you have done to it. Clearly you don't have the competence to keep an economy that stays within a certain debt to GDP model, that maintains a currency at a point in which businesses can work, that provides energy to make sure that there's productivity. I mean, the gross savings of the country have been depleted. When you run deficits of double-digit figures for about 3 years, there's no savings left. And then corporates are therefore not producing as much as they do, so they don't have savings. And individuals like you and I, you get your paycheck and it's over before you can say jack. So then there's no give, and you think that you can borrow to continue. So now interest payment now constitute your second largest government expenditure, from 680 billion or so that you used to pay in 2008, you are now paying 10 billion. Okay, so you have created a situation in which things are difficult, where private sector is just aghast at what it should do, where productivity has shrunk, and therefore you are compelled to increase taxes. So it's just a very vicious cycle that you are in, and until you get a fresh look at it, you are stuck and derailed.
Talking about the interest payment that you mentioned, your opponents are saying that what you're paying isn't all the loans that they took, and that the interest are some of the loans that your party took when you were in power some time ago.
Well, the issue for me, Bright, is if somebody says that, saying it is different from the fact.
Okay.
If you were paying 680 million cedis and you are now paying, literally 10 billion, which is, for interest payment, gives you no room to maneuver, and you want to blame somebody. And the question also becomes one of value for money. When you have a Legon hospital of 600 beds costing $20 million, and you have a rich rehabilitation of 200 beds costing $250 million, you begin to see how you lose money and how then these
you
problems.
won't care about the equipment in these facilities?
Well, I'm talking about value. 600 beds at 230 billion, new hospital, rehabilitation. So we can play with the margins as much as we want. In the end, the number will be written down, and the number leads to an impractical way in which to live. You won't do that in your household, where you just keep borrowing, and where do you go next? So then you go to your neighbor to tax your neighbor. We are being taxed. I just saw a $90 million bond that the government did. The government is paying 6%, and Ghanaians are buying it. Meanwhile, they borrowed at 10% on international market.
All right.
So we have challenges.
How would you respond to your critics who say that you don't have a message?
You think about one thing. You hear the NDC saying, but the debt level has gone up. Sure, the debt level has gone up, but economic management has not gone down. The debt level has increased, yes. But why do we want to maintain prudent debt levels? When you teach economics, you have to ask your students that question. Why is it that we ask that the debt levels be maintained at prudent levels? The reason is because if you do not manage your debt properly, it will affect your exchange rate, it will affect your interest rates, it will affect your inflation, it will affect your growth. Isn't that the case? You are managing the economy in a way to look at its impact on these variables: exchange rates, interest rates, inflation, and growth rates. That is the issue. When the NDC was in government, well, way before they took us to HIPIC, remember the HIPIC period, they had mismanaged the debt level such that we had very high inflation, very high exchange rate depreciation, very high interest rates, and low growth. That was the legacy they left us. By the time we were going towards 2016, the debt levels had increased to an extent where the inflation was going up, interest rates going up, exchange rate depreciation going up, and growth also coming down. And they had to run to the IMF for a bailout. Wasn't that the case? That was NDC economic management. Our debt levels have gone up, but what has happened to inflation? It has come down. What has happened to exchange rates? Depreciation has come down. What has happened to interest rates? It has come down. What has happened to growth? It is going up. That is a difference in economic management. How can government be seeking to contract this magnitude of non-concessional loans at this time when it does not have enough cash to meet statutory payments?
This is like an alcoholic who has just been convinced to enter rehab, and just a few days before rehab, asks for a carton of whiskey. Can this person be trusted to keep or to stay with the rehab program? Undertaking this additional borrow would mean that the anchor is not likely to hold, and it would compromise the objective of fiscal consolidation and debt sustainability. Given Ghana's economic situation, this bailout program will require a commitment to fiscal discipline that will test the resolve of any government in any developing country, such as ours. And it is important that the government understands what it has signed up for. We should all be prepared for some painful adjustments. To give legal backing to the process of fiscal consolidation, the government is likely to be required by the IMF to pass a fiscal responsibility law. A fiscal responsibility law will require governments to declare and commit to a fiscal policy that can be monitored. It includes rules and provisions for transparency and sanctions. Mr. Chairman, in my lecture last year and earlier in November 2013, when I delivered the Aliyu Mahama Memorial Lecture, I offered the same piece of advice to government, but the Minister of Finance responded that it was not necessary. Today, because it is the IMF offering the solution, the government response is that it is very necessary. Mr. Chairman, to prevent the runaway printing of money by the central bank to finance the large deficits of government, the IMF is requiring that Bank of Ghana reduces its lending to government to zero by 2016. Zero. This means...
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob, but you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you, because we choose them, we vote them, we blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country, wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now. Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Thursday, the 28th day of March, 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Make sacrifices to impact lives, clergy to Ghanaians. Supreme Court throws out injunction against approval of ministers. Amnesty International launches campaign to protect protesters. And there's a special feature on President Akufo-Addo's 80th birthday. And Daily Graphic reminds you that it will be off the newsstands from tomorrow, the 29th day of March, to Monday, the 1st of April, for the Easter festivities. But they say that their online portals will remain active for the period. And so you can visit the site for all your news during this period. They'll, however, return to the newsstands on Tuesday, April 2. That's after the Easter holiday. The Ghanaian Times. Don't disturb country's peace. Clergy task Ghanaians ahead of Easter. Special feature inside Akufo-Addo at 80. And the Ghanaian Times says that it's also going to take a break and will return on the newsstands on Wednesday, April 3. The Spectator will also return on April 6. Daily Guide. Approved ministers, Supreme Court to Parliament. AG ends evidence in NAM1 trial. Bawumia Commission Second Fire Academy. GRA gets new boss. ECG board chair resigns. The new crusading guide. Digitalization will address taxation challenges. AGI vindicates Bawumia. Bawumia will ensure NPP retains power. Paul Chumberima assures. Maincom boss highlights skill sets and training requirements in mining sector. Socialist movement congratulates Senegal over successful elections. Ghana's Josephine Annan Nkomo tops list of Africa's women in financial sector. Kwabenya airline chief blames Comet Properties for development challenges. GRA is killing our businesses. TAGG laments. The Insight. I've never been corrupt and will never be corrupt, Alan, as he promises to create anti-corruption czar to fight graft. Saglemi Housing. Minority rejects government's private partnership bid. Alleges planned sale to political cronies. Save the Nation rallies support for sustainable management of water resources. 2024 elections. Group hails Bernard Mooney's presidential bid. National Defense University timely for regional security, GTEC. The Inquisitor. Bawumia's running mates, Cathedral, Osofo, unmasked, lobbying for female for cash reward. Path to prosperity demands collective will of all Ghanaians. Afenyo Makin. Noise pollution at Labone 355 lounge heightens nuisance. LADMA EPA check responsibilities. Food suppliers to schools to picket of unpaid arrears. NDC raises alarm over scheduling of political cases. The Daily Statesman. GRA to become more business friendly. Bawumia assures AGI. 10,720 housing units to address housing deficit. Supreme Court dismisses injunction against new ministers. $300 million loan from World Bank hits BOG account. Presby moderator urges sacrifice for greater good. Diplomatic finesse of Martin Moreau laudable. The New Finder. 10,720 housing units under development to address housing deficit upon Nkrumah. Julie Esiam is acting GRA Commissioner General. Policeman cuts off ear of suspect in torturous interrogation. AGI backs Dr. Bawumia's call for innovation in GRA operations. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome to Elcom.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatments like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness, so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the He.
Hey, what's up?
How far with your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for internet. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
After you're on a line,
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in the office when you can just download your app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Miss Seth, I'm starting work next month.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
My chest.
That's so cycle.
The smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some me kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa.
Ile kosen. Cal 360 did the way. Its cool mint gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will so feeling to when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
The biggest car center in Ghana, offering unparalleled round-the-clock service in autos and accessories. Nadam Autofix is the biggest distributors of used tires in Ghana, offering first-grade second-hand car tires of all rim sizes at both wholesale and retail prices. We are also the leading name in car sensor diagnostics, corrections and sales of car accessories. We excel in car washing and detailing with state-of-the-art steam engine washing machines that keep water away from your engine, ensuring a clean, healthy and responsive engine. Nadam Autofix, the first name in servicing, car accessories and car washing. Visit us today and experience the world of class difference. Find us today at Asoridaho, directly opposite Dansoman KFC and the Shell filling station. For more details, you can call us on 0503 244 266 or 0535 339823. Nado Motofix. Wukwain Sunyonko Papa.
One number from 1 to 36. Place your stake and watch our live draws on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily.
Hey, live life like me with Game Park. Game Park, more moolah, more power.
This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly.
Introducing the new Jama washing powder with multi-enzymes that helps remove stubborn stains.
It has a nice fragrance. Not harsh on my hands. Foams easily. And removes stains well.
Oh, I saw TV.
You brought 5 big sachets of new Jama washing powder.
Yes, ma'am.
It really removes stains. It has a nice fragrance.
Yes, ma'am.
Then add 30 sacks of Jama washing powder to your engagement list.
Jama.
Yes, ma'am.
New Jama washing powder for cleaner, fresher wash. Your partner for clean clothes. This advert is FDA approved.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And I'll let you into a panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But if you're looking for a toothpaste that will take care of all the family and save money, the recommended family toothpaste is Kel 360 toothpaste. And this is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use Kel 360 toothpaste. Kel 360 toothpaste is another quality product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasu, and is available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. You can call Samara Company on 0246 864 798. Kel 360 toothpaste, happy smile. And the pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages. But hey, just as they say that you need to enjoy the fruits of your labor, you also need to enjoy the mansions of your labor. You need not worry any longer because lifts and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic
vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumon or just call them on 0200-535-415 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movements. And if you are looking to buy land, Aningo Pram Pram, close to the Central University, and Chopoli, close to the Saglemi Affordable Housing, Estate Masters Limited is giving a 10% discount on all their lands at those places. And the prices range from 12,500 cedis to 25,000 Ghana cedis. You can reach them on 0500-304-447 or 0593-803-180. You can also find them on social media at Estate Masters GH or on www.estatemastersgh.com. Now, the Ignite Media Group, that's Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 91.9 FM, is organizing the Ghana Easter Sales Expo, which is starting from tomorrow, the 29th of March to the 31st of March, to Sunday, the 31st of March. That's right on the Osu Oxford Street. And this is your ultimate, it's going to be your ultimate Easter shopping experience. Now, for those of you who want to showcase your products, for as little as 300 Ghana cedis, you can showcase your brand and reach thousands of clients and potential clients through TV interviews, commercials, and more. And for more information, you can contact us on 0244 598 747 or 0548 390 970. And make sure you don't miss out on this Ghana Easter Sales Expo happening from tomorrow to Sunday on the Osu Oxford Street. So reserve your spot today and make this Easter an unforgettable one. This is sponsored by Appointed Time Printing, AH Hotel and Conferences, Legon, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Original 91.9 FM, Metro TV, and Original TV. Interested food vendors should also contact us on the same number, 0244 598 747 or 0548 390 970. All right. So, with me on the show this morning, it's the birthday man. Today is his birthday. It's a Thursday. It's the 28th day of March. I doubt if he was born on a Thursday. Okay. But it's the 28th day of March. And today is his birthday. And he's here with us on the show. Sami Jemfi is a legal practitioner and also the National Communications Officer of the NDC. Birthday, Sami.
Dr. Andiabe.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is that why you're in a double-breasted suit?
Oh, these days I've been wearing double-breasted suit thanks to a common friend.
Okay.
But for you, a new friend you've discovered. Bondana.
Bondana, okay.
Yeah, he shows these suits for me. He actually does some of the best suits in Accra today.
He says he's done stuff for me.
Yeah.
He's not taking my measurement. He says by looking at me, he's done stuff for me.
Yeah, so. Today he gave me one. He gave me only one to bring to you. So I have that in my car. I have that in my car. So yeah, that's it.
So
I'm grateful to him.
For
yeah.
Okay.
He made it for me. He does very nice kaftans and safaris too. So yeah, people can check him out on Instagram.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's your birthday suit.
I believe so.
In reality.
Yeah,
anyway.
I believe so.
But how's the day? How do you feel?
Oh, I just feel grateful. Grateful for how far the Lord has brought me. Grateful for many things, but especially the grace of God at work in my life and the many helpers the many loved ones the Lord has brought my way through this short journey of my life. So let me say thank you to my wife, my family, my friends, my comrades, and loved ones all across the globe who, as early as this morning, were reaching out either through messages on WhatsApp or SMS or phone calls just to pray with me, wish me well, and so on. I'm most grateful. I may not be able to reply every call or message, but I'll do my best. But what I want to use this medium of yours to do is to thank all of them. Those who have already wished me and those who will be wishing me in the course of the day. I'm most grateful. Yeah. Unfortunately, because of the ongoing doomsday and the excruciating hardships, we'll not be able to celebrate the birthday today.
Oh.
But I have deferred the celebration to the 9th of December 2024.
Oh, how?
When His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is eventually declared the President of Ghana. So all those calling me, wanting to find out where the party is happening, it's happening on the 9th of December.
This is a DDJ strategy. Because I won't be surprised we will find pictures of Erica J and the other guys organizing something.
Those guys, I would not be surprised if they are planning some mischief.
My checks suggest that the missus is not in town. Could that also be a reason? First of all, is it true?
Well, there's some truth in that. That's what I said. There's some truth in that. There's some truth in that. Yeah, for those young men, I don't know what they are planning, but the day is still young. We'll need to see how it goes. But Doc, thank you very much for everything. You people may not know, and I can't put it out, but that gesture of yours just 2 days ago has helped a lot, and I'm most grateful to you.
All right. Okay, so that's the birthday man, Sammy Jemfi. Today's his birthday. We're expecting the communications director of the NPP, Richard Ayagba, to join us. I think was his birthday yesterday, or it's going to be tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, wow.
No. I was just...
okay.
I'm just messing around. I think that it's rather Mr. President's birthday.
Yes.
That is...
his 80th birthday.
Yes, that is what is coming up.
Wow.
I think tomorrow.
Yeah.
Rather. Yes. So...
Maybe we should wish him
a
happy birthday in advance.
Yes.
80 years is no joke.
The Daily Graphic and the Ghanaian Times all have some special features.
Oh, nice.
For the president's 80th birthday. And so, Mr. President, happy 80th birthday in advance.
Yeah.
That's it. So, Akufo-Addo at 80.
Yeah. That's no joke, eh?
In fact, what is in the Daily Graphic is authored by Samuel A. Jinapo.
Okay.
The Minister for
Lands and Natural Resources.
Wow. So that's a pull-out in the Daily Graphic.
Wow.
Akufo-Addo at 80. History will be extremely kind to him. That's the title.
I don't agree that history will be extremely kind to him.
No, that's according to
Sammy. Yeah, my namesake.
Okay.
He's been abysmal in office,
so
but he's still the president.
Yeah.
So we still have to celebrate
this special
and
feature.
Wish him well. Yeah.
It's all been done by Samuel Abujinapo, and it's about 16 pages.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
16 pages.
He's worked with him closely.
Yes.
Even in opposition as a spokesperson or aide, right?
Yes.
So I think he will have a lot to say.
Yes. Was his aide? Okay, so it includes the Kwawu one.
Okay.
So for what the Honorable Sammy Jinapo, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, has done, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 pages.
Oh, beautiful.
In today's edition of the Daily Graphic. So that's the Akufo-Addo at 80 special feature by the Honorable Samuel Jinapo, MP and Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. You can find it in today's edition
Have you been invited to the party?
Which party?
The President's party.
No.
Happening tomorrow.
No. I'm not aware of a party.
Mr. President, kindly remember your old friend, Dr. Abbey. Send him an invite.
I'm sure that.
But happy birthday to you, Mr. President.
I'll be with.
We pray for health.
I'll be with my family somewhere, so I won't be available. Anyway, happy birthday to you, Mr. President. Happy 80th birthday to you, and I'm sure that the entire country wishes you a happy birthday, and we hope that you will grow stronger. You'd enjoy good health and even a much longer life. All right. But let's come back to our discussions this morning. All right. So your party issued a statement alleging biases against the CJ in the exercise of administrative functions as the Chief Justice. And that has to do with the scheduling of the Defamakbo ministerial nomination case. The case was heard yesterday, and the Supreme Court has refused to grant the injunction. It says that Parliament should not be injuncted from going ahead with this business, which it appears sits with its earlier decision as far as attempts to injunct Parliament has been concerned. That's it. Now, the AG says that your accusation against the Chief Justice is unfounded, and that I think that he said that he had moved for something else to be done. Now, lawyers says the allegation of bias against the suit is unwarranted, and the Femakpo's legal team also say that they were not served a hearing notice, and this just goes to further deepen the issues. But the truth of the matter is that you've made those allegations. The Supreme Court, consistent with its position on whether Parliament should be injuncted from performing its legislative functions, says no. We would like to see how that translates into the one that deals with the transmission to the President. However, those cases, the two, the Amanda Odre and the Richard Sky, are yet to be listed.
Yeah. Well, Doc, a very good morning to our cherished viewers. It's true that yesterday we issued a press statement signed by my senior brother and boss, the General Secretary of our party, lamenting what we describe as unfairness and bias on the part of the Chief Justice, and particularly the Registry of the Supreme Court in the scheduling of certain political cases. You see, Doc, the judiciary is a very important institution in our democratic dispensation, because it is the institution that is entrusted with a mandate for and on behalf of the people of this country to administer justice. And it is for that reason that the Constitution guarantees the independence of the judiciary. And therefore, the judiciary is enjoined to be impartial. The judiciary is enjoined to be fair to all manner of persons. And so we are very worried about the growing perception of bias against the judiciary, particularly the Office of Chief Justice, both the just outgone Chief Justice and the current Chief Justice, in the exercise of the administrative functions. And I'm very happy that you have, narrowed down to the issue we are raising. We are not criticizing the Supreme Court or justices of the Supreme Court for any judicial decision they have taken. We're saying that in the administration of justice, the judiciary has been given some administrative powers, which is exercised by the Judicial Service, the registries of the various courts, but headed by the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice has ultimate responsibility for the administrative functions of the courts. And an integral part of that administrative function has to do with the filing of cases and the scheduling of these cases for hearing. And the natural expectation is that in scheduling cases for hearing, particularly cases of considerable political and public interest, the courts would do it in cognizance of the timing of the filing of those cases. First come, first serve. That should be the general rule. Except in special cases where, for one reason or the other, the Supreme Court wants to make an exception, or the Chief Justice wants to make an exception. You see, look, we are disappointed by the fact that Richard De La Sky issued his writ of summons challenging the constitutionality of the anti-LGBTQ bill, what is called the Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024. And in the pursuant to that, filed an application for interlocutory injunction. That case was filed on the 5th of March. Now, Honorable Roxanne Dafia-Mapo's suit was filed on the 18th of March, pursuant to which an application for interlocutory injunction was filed by him on the 21st of March, 2 clear weeks after Richard De La Sky's writ was issued in the Supreme Court. Now we know that these 2 legal actions pending in the Supreme Court have created a standoff, a deadlock between the executive arm of government and the legislature, for the simple reason that the president has indicated that he is not willing to accept a valid correspondence from the legislative arm of government. He is not willing to receive the transmission of the anti-LGBTQ bill from Parliament, which the Speaker of Parliament is enjoined by the Constitution to do. So, by parity of reasoning, the Speaker of Parliament decided to abide by the thinking, the interpretation, the arguments of the President, even though I know that Mr. Speaker disagrees with that position. But he said, look, if this is what you're saying, then let's give you a dose of your own medicine and let's see how you feel. So, the Right Honourable Speaker also decided that by virtue of the fact that the Roxanne Dafia-Mapo's case was seeking to restrain Parliament from considering the latest ministerial nominations of the President, he was also going to put that on hold until the determination of the Dafia-Mapo case. So this is the standoff, the political standoff that we have on our hands. One would have expected that these 2 important arms of government would have jorjored, and found a middle ground, found a compromise position in the interest of the people of this country. It does appear that the executive is hell-bent on showing their power, and so they are still standing by their entrenched position that they were right. Be that as it may, we were expecting that since the De La Sky case, which government is very happy about because it affords the president the opportunity to shelve the anti-LGBTQ bill that he doesn't support, he opposes. It gives him the opportunity to shelve that. We would have expected that that suit would have been first to be listed for hearing. Unfortunately, the Dafia-Mapo's case, which was filed 2 weeks prior to the Richard Sky case, was what was listed for hearing and actually heard yesterday relative to the interlocutory application for injunction. So this is the basis of our complaint. This is the basis of our criticism of the Chief Justice. We are saying that, Madam Chief Justice, you are not being fair, you are not being impartial as you ought to be. Yes, you have discretionary powers in the exercise of your administrative functions as the head of the judiciary. But you are enjoined by Article 296 to exercise that discretionary power in a fair manner and in a manner that engenders confidence in the judiciary and our justice delivery system. You are not supposed to exercise that power whimsically, capriciously, or arbitrarily. We think that the manner in which political cases are being heard, are being called, are being listed for hearing by this Chief Justice is very arbitrary and unfair. And we say so very forcefully. And we are demanding for a change. Because, look, this is not the first time. You recall, in the processes leading to the approval of the, I believe, 2022 budget, if that is what had the e-levy in it, you recall that Parliament at plenary disapproved of the budget. Subsequent to the disapproval of the budget, the rejection of the budget, if I can put it that way, the Parliament of Ghana reconsidered the budget and purported to rescind the rejection of the budget. At the time, the first Deputy Speaker, Honorable Joe Wise, was the one in the chair. And you'll recall that he decided to participate in the votes, even though he was the first Deputy Speaker presiding on the day. And that, for us, for those of us in the NDC, particularly our MPs in the minority caucus, that was unconstitutional. We thought that that was unacceptable. And that once the first Deputy Speaker was presiding, he lost his voting right. But, and this matter was, put before the Supreme Court. Because at the time, government thought that the back and forth on the approval of the budget was affecting, its plans, its projections, and investor confidence and all that. We saw an expeditious determination of the matter by the Supreme Court. The matter was dealt with expeditiously. We're all excited about it because we all want cases to be fast-tracked in our courts, particularly cases of public interest. Few weeks down the line, the e-levy bill was put before Parliament. And based on certain decisions that the Supreme Court had made in the Justice Abdullahi case relative to quorum for decision-making in Parliament, we in the NDC took the position that Parliament didn't have the quorum for taking a decision on that matter. And therefore, the approval of the e-levy was unconstitutional. That was, for me, a very plausible, a very watertight case. So some of our NDC members of Parliament went to the Supreme Court challenging the constitutionality of the approval of the e-levy. In 2022, that was when that rate was issued. Look, till date, the Chief Justice hearing. Till date, that case has not been listed for hearing. I can give you many other examples. You recall when the former Auditor General was forcibly ejected from his office, and a writ was issued in the Supreme Court by some civil society organizations challenging the unconstitutional removal of the Auditor General by the President. It took years before that matter was determined. Years. In fact, by the time the Supreme Court determined the matter last year, the matter had become moot. And that decision of the Supreme Court didn't serve any useful purpose. You see, so it does appear to every, and this should be obvious to any objective mind, that when cases go to the Supreme Court that appear to be averse to the interests of this overbearing executive arm of government led by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the case is not dealt with the same seriousness and alacrity that cases that the government is interested in are dealt with. And that is our worry. That is our worry. The Chief Justice must do better. What is happening is totally unacceptable. Look, you've seen the expeditious manner that the Supreme Court handled the case involving the Asenov MP, Honorable Kwesi, relative to the constitutionality of his election as Member of Parliament for the good people of Asenov. I mean, application after application, the Supreme Court has been very expeditious in determining the issues. My friend and brother, Buja Jenfi, filed a similar suit challenging the validity of the election of the Member of Parliament for Tolon. Doc, I'm sure you remember that suit. Honorable Habib, on grounds that the Honorable Member allegedly has been convicted of fraud in Australia, and for that matter, is unqualified to be Member of Parliament. And if you check the case, I mean, very watertight. He's attached all the necessary pieces of evidence that shows that indeed there was that conviction related to fraud involving that Member of Parliament. The case was filed in the Supreme Court years ago, Doc, till date. It's been a running back and forth battle between Buja, his lawyers, and the Registry of the Supreme Court. Even getting a cover letter from the Registry of the Supreme Court to serve Parliament through the Clerk of Parliament has been, an endless back and forth battle between his lawyers and the Registry. And to date, the Member of Parliament has not been served. The Registry of the Supreme Court, they don't care. They claim that they have written a letter to the Clerk of Parliament addressed to the Speaker for the Member of Parliament to be served. Buja Jenfi and his lawyers have asked the Registry to just furnish them with a copy of that letter. Doc, can you believe that to date, they have not even been kind to give them a copy of that letter so that they can follow up? And the Supreme Court is not interested in granting an application for substituted service. So it's like, we know that there is merit in this case, so we won't even call the case. This cannot be happening in any democracy. Everybody, irrespective of their political affiliation, should be able to access our courts and access justice expeditiously. You see, what is very interesting in this discussion about the Dafiama Post case and all that is the revelation from no less a person than the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. And Doc, I'm sure you've been following that keenly. Yesterday, when some media men sought to find out from the Attorney General how come the Dafiama Post case against the President's ministerial nominations has been heard first ahead of Richard Delesky's case against the Speaker of Parliament, the transmission of the anti-LGBTQ bill, the Attorney General responded that he applied to the Chief Justice for the Dafiama Post case to be expedited. He says so. He's captured on audio that he applied. So in an interview later in the day, yesterday, on Top Story, with our Director Legal, Eduji Temaklo, Evans Mensah asked the Attorney General that what was the manner of this application? Because, Doc, yes, when cases are filed in court and a party in the case wants the matter expedited, they can file a formal application to the court for an expeditious determination of the matter or for the abridgment of time. But such applications must be on notice. All other parties must be notified, they must be served, and they must also be heard on that application. That is the rule. So we checked with Honorable Roxanne's lawyers for the Speaker, and they had not been served with any such application for an expedited, determination of the matter. So Evans Mensah asked the Attorney General, what was the form of this application? Then to our amazement, the Attorney General says, I wrote a letter to the Chief Justice. Then Eduji asked him, did you copy the other parties in the case? He says, no. Completely unacceptable. This constitutes ex-party communication with the Chief Justice by a party in a case without any notice whatsoever to the other parties. And what is even annoying about the whole thing is that when this man, who is supposed to be not only be an Attorney General, but a Minister of Justice, was asked whether he would take the same interest in the Delaskai case and apply to the Chief Justice to expedite that matter. He told the journalist that he was playing to the gallery by asking him that question. And yet, when the likes of Franklin Kujo says that this is the worst Attorney General we have ever had, a minister for injustice and not a minister for justice, he is offended. He is not interested in fairness, equality of treatment to parties before the courts. He is not interested in justice. He is there as a political apparatchik, doing the bidding of a despotic political regime. It is very sad. But we are not going to be quiet, and nobody can blackmail us into silence. Madam Chief Justice, until this changes, we will not stop criticizing you. You are not above criticism. You know that justice emanates from the people of this country. And the judiciary is supposed to administer justice for and on behalf of the people of this country. And what the people of this country want is fairness, is justice. Why is it that the e-levy case has not been listed for hearing? Why is it that the registry of the Supreme Court is frustrating the service of the writ which has been issued challenging the constitutionality of the election of the Tolon MP? Why is it that you are not interested in listing for hearing the Richard Delaskai case which was filed 2 weeks prior to the case of Dafia Mapo, which you have heard yesterday, at least relative to the interlocutory application for injunction? We deserve better and we demand better. But aside that, I totally disagree with the Supreme Court that proper service was made in the case of Dafia Mapo. Because I've seen the CCTV footage. I was not in court, but at least I've heard media reports of what the bailiff testified before that court on oath. And I want to let the bailiff know that for testimony under oath is tantamount to perjury. So if you go and tell the revered justices of the Supreme Court that you went to the chambers of the lawyer, our own brother Nick Papu, lawyer for Dafia Mapo, and that they refused to take a process from you and all that, when you do that was not the case. The registrar, or I think the bailiff of the court, had called the lawyer. The lawyer said I was out of town, serve my client, and actually forwarded his client's contacts to the registrar, or I think the bailiff. For some strange reasons, the bailiff decided to go to the lawyer's office. He went there and just dropped the process on the table. And the receptionist said, my boss is not around. When you are serving a process, the one you are serving must sign for it. So can you let us reach out to him so that you serve him personally for him to sign to it? He says, let me step out and consult my boss. He steps out and doesn't return again. And the Supreme Court says this is service.
Now, what he told the Supreme Court, according to the reports we received, was that the lady who he named as Na told him that the boss has asked her not to accept any processes from the court. No. No, I'm saying that.
Well, but
this is what
Nick Papo has granted interviews, and he has said that is not true. Yeah. He only said that for any process, relative to that particular case, he should be served personally. So that is all the receptionist, and that is not irregular at all for senior lawyers in a law office to say that. I work in a chamber. That is regular practice. But even if the bailiff disagreed, he should have come back and said no. So accept the service, and if the receptionist refused, he could have done what he did. But I think what happened was not right at all. Finally, what I will say is that I'm happy with the decision the court has reached. It is a decision I agree with. It is a decision that is, in my opinion, sound in law. That no constitutional body or public office holder can be injuncted from the performance of his public duty, especially constitutional duties, by the courts, unless it can be demonstrated that that office holder or that institution is engaged in the violation of the Constitution, and that if he is not injuncted, an irreparable damage will be done the applicant. that the court may not be able to remedy upon the final determination of the case. But we know that as far as laws are concerned, any applicant for an interlocutory injunction or any plaintiff challenging the constitutionality of any law can eventually get justice because of Article 2 and 130 of the 1992 Constitution, which vests jurisdiction in the Supreme Court to declare as null and void any law that is inconsistent with the Constitution of Ghana to the extent of its inconsistency with the Constitution of Ghana. And so the Supreme Court is right. They were right in the Amanda Ondo case relative to the first interlocutory injunction, which sought to restrain Parliament from proceeding with the consideration of the anti-LGBTQ bill. And in that ruling, they said that you cannot injunct Parliament from exercising its constitutional powers in making laws. Let them finish making the law. When the law comes into effect and you think it's unconstitutional, you can still come to us for declaratory reliefs relative to that. And I think the decision by the court yesterday is consistent with that. And so by parity of reasoning, I don't see how in the case of Richard Delasky, the Supreme Court can say that Parliament can be restrained from performing its constitutional duty of transmitting a bill it has passed to the President of Ghana. So for me, it even renders that case moot, because the ratio of this ruling can be applied, like the lawyers say, mutatis mutandis, to the case of Richard Delasky, because they are materially the same. But finally, Doc, we are in this quagmire, this political quandary, this political, deadlock, because President Akufo-Addo and the ruling NPP, President Akufo-Addo, ably supported by his vice, Alhaji Bawumia, are determined to oppose and frustrate the coming into effect of the anti-gay bill. The Center for Democratic CDD, what's the full name? Center for Democratic what? Development. They've told us publicly that the president has given them his full blessing for them to oppose the anti-LGBTQ bill. So all the things that the pretense the president has been putting up, deceiving Christians and Muslims in this country, that he is against gayism, homosexuality and all that. Today he's been exposed. And that is how come that even a day before Richard Delasky filed his application in the Supreme Court, the president by some magical powers already knew. In fact, he lied on the 4th of March that the case had been filed when that was not the case, because he is the one sponsoring it. He is the one motivating, sponsoring all the opposition from civil society, from people like Richard Delasky against the bill. Mr. President, be bold. Be bold. You have already told us that homosexuality is bound to happen in Ghana. If your position has not changed and you don't want the coming into force of a law passed unanimously by the representatives of the people to come into effect, you want homosexuality to be promoted, say that. Accept that transmission. Refuse to assent. The people's representatives in Parliament will do the needful by mobilizing the needed two-thirds majority to pass the law, in which case you will not have any discretion to refuse the assent of the bill. And stop playing these games, because it is not healthy for our democracy for this standoff to linger. And the judiciary, and let me not even say the judiciary, it's not fair to say the judiciary, the Chief Justice must not come across as aiding the president to have an upper hand in this impasse with Parliament. That is detrimental to public confidence in that respectable, that important arm of government, the judiciary.
Okay, all right. So he's joined us here on the show.
Are you mourning?
I jokingly said that his birthday would either be could have been yesterday or will probably be tomorrow, just like His Excellency the President. But I was not too far from it. His birthday was actually on Tuesday.
Wow.
Tuesday, just 2 days ago. Tuesday.
Wow.
So,
happy belated birthday.
Richard Ahiagbe's birthday was on Tuesday. Don't ask me
but
how
he didn't
old.
invite us to the party.
Don't ask me how old he is.
I'm delaying the party as well.
No, the Doomsor prevented the party. so Rishi Nayagba, who's the director of communications of the MPP, who celebrated his birthday just last Tuesday, 2 days ago. So actually, their birthdays are two days apart, just like the 2 feet between them. Yeah. So belated happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
To you.
Thank you.
All right.
And happy birthday to Sammy.
And sorry,
brother.
prevented you from having your party.
Is that why you're in black?
Oh, no. Tomorrow we're going to Kumasi for John Kuma's 1 week.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's tomorrow, yes.
Okay.
Today is the 28th.
Wow.
And I've also had a friend of mine who just told me about his father's passing, but he's old.
Oh.
So I've been in the middle of funeral issues. But I like wearing black anyway. It's not
okay. You just reminded me, I also have a funeral.
Okay.
You know, the wife of my late uncle.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
She's actually the mother of the Methodist Church at Abeka.
Wow.
Mrs. Elizabeth Akuama.
Wow.
The wife of the late Mr. Esuama. So anybody at Abeka, especially Free Pipe, knows Mr. Esuama. And of course the wife, Mrs. Elizabeth Akuama. She passed on your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she passed on your birthday. So my condolences to all my cousins, nephews, nieces, all the children of Mr. Suama and the grandchildren as well. The entire my family, our condolences goes out to you as well. Yes, Richard.
Yeah. Well, I think that I've listened to Sami quite closely. And all I hear him say is to lament as his General Secretary commenced.
So let me just. So lawyer Ni Pakpo Ado, who's the lawyer for the firm, he sent me this. He says there is CCTV footage of the entire interaction. Everything the bailiff said, my receptionist said, was a lie, and has sent me the CCTV recordings as well.
So on that account, we have a potential perjury where the bailiff testifying, saying that what happened is this, and he has evidence to contradict that. So I think that's...
And in fact, the court's relying on that to say that then a service has been affected.
On account of that. So as for that one, it's not an issue that has been determined. So it has a future determination that we can't get into today. But I think, seriously, honestly, I listened to Nana Fridia yesterday in some of the discussion, and I think by and large I would say that we should move on from this issue. Really, what the NDC is trying to do is to preoccupy the country with some side conversation so that the substance of the matter is not discussed. What is happening here is a peripheral conversation on matters that, are serious for the state. In my brother H's application that is brought to the court, seeking to stay Parliament's hand in proceeding with the vetting reports of nominees of the president, I think that is not something that... It's not a consequential case, in my view, something that as a country seeking to develop with the problems we have, the global challenges that we're facing, and how we have to work smart, expeditiously to try and improve conditions for our people, then we're just experimenting, trying to equalize in some ways that I find very objectionable. Why would you want to do what you're doing? In that case, what's the substance of it? What is the value of seeking to say that, oh, don't do that for what? So I'm saying that we should probably move on from this matter, because it is one of NDC's strategies to constrain the country in discussing matters that are not consequential for the state's growth and progress. And especially this period in time where there are pressing matters of consequence to people's lives. Employment, improving the economy, creating the future that our youth can leverage for the accelerated development of this country. These matters are not things that should occupy national attention. I say so quite simply because it is obvious in Speaker's argument in Parliament saying that, okay, well, because there's precedent set by President saying that a case before the Supreme Court makes it difficult for him to sign the anti-LGBT law, he too is constrained from moving forward with the approval of the nominees because of a case filed against Parliament's activity. And when you hear him make that equalization, you clearly see that he's not convinced that what case he's making should be acceptable or anybody should be making that, but he made it nonetheless. And that's where I think that the NDC is leading us all into a playhouse to say that, oh, you did that, so we have to undo this. I don't get it. The questions that Sami is raising about service, now we have two sides to the matter, so I don't think I'll weigh in on that. It's clear that one person says this, one person said that. If that matter becomes a thing of contention beyond just the evidence that we have seen, then maybe I'm sure that the individuals will take it to court and address that. At that point, you can speak about it. But the point Sami made about the Attorney General writing to the CJ for expedited hearing of the case, in particular the case to do with the injunction filed by Honorable Dapamoko. It's a process that Sami knows, and not necessarily would a Chief Justice write to inform the plaintiff. He's the lawyer, but it's not procedural to say that because you are seeking the Chief Justice to expedite, or the court to expedite your case because of some urgency to it, it is not incumbent on you to want to inform the plaintiff. It is from the court, having received your application or your letter for expedited hearing. They now serve a notice of hearing to the plaintiff in the matter to say that this case will be heard this day or that day, which is what is in contention now.
No, explain this so to me, so I understand. Let me ask the question so that the clarity can come. Are you saying, this is what I heard, but I could be wrong. Are you saying that when a party in a suit files for abridgment of time per the practice or the rules of court, that party in the suit needs not inform or copy the other parties in the suit?
Yeah.
And that when the said application goes to the registrar and therefore the court, if it agrees and grants that, will only have to inform the other parties in the case of the hearing, the date for hearing.
Yeah.
Is that your case? Is that what you said?
That's my understanding. Okay. To the extent that the burden is not on the person, so it could be the plaintiff or the respondent in the case who is seeking for abridgment of time. So the burden is not on the one applying for such expedited
who will it be on?
It will be the court then will notify me, assuming it's between you and I, okay? Then you apply.
So this is the clarity I wanted.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is that per the practice, it is not for the AG. We are being specific.
Exactly. So
it's not for the AG to have informed the parties that I have applied for abridgment of time. However, it is the responsibility of the court to inform the other parties that this party in the matter has filed for abridgment of time, and therefore we will hear that motion on this day.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So that the burden. Hold on. No, it's okay. I mean, we have 1,001 lawyers listening, right? The point I'm making is that the burden of communication is on the court.
Okay.
To say that this case will be heard on so and so date, subject to the application for abridgment of time in this matter. So it is not for the person seeking the expedition to be the one to inform you. By the way,
but from what you're saying, that all parties in the case will be made aware that there is an application for abridgment of time. However, what you say is that it is not the responsibility of in this case, the AG.
Yes.
But the court will have informed them that there's an application.
Notice, yes, there's a notice. They will serve a notice of hearing saying that this case will be heard on that day.
Because a party in the suit has applied for abridgment of time.
I'm not sure if you say that exactly, but the burden is on the court to inform the individual of the notice of hearing that this case will be heard on this day. Whether the details will include that because of abridgment of time, that we can hear other people's view. But the point is that the one applying has no responsibility to inform you necessarily before it is effective. So nothing wrong in the process that the AG has undertaken to say that, or the AG Nicodemously had that application. It was a concert between him and the CJ, which Sami was saying. I don't think that is exactly the case. And so for me, I am clear in my mind that in this country, our legal system has been one that across board, there's some appreciation for it. And I think that they have been exceedingly tolerant, where they've been subject to some unfair criticism, sometimes fair or unfair, but somehow they have conducted themselves in ways that I think that we all should commend them. But the NDC has taken a certain position. And in most of the cases where they go on the tangent of accusing the Supreme Court, you know there are cases that they know they are losing, they don't have any evidence, they don't have any standing in the matter, given the chance that they will win it. You take a typical case, you talked about the e-levy, well, we'll talk about that. The 2021 election petition hearing. That case, the evidence is clear from the NDC's own side to say that they knew they were losing that case. They didn't have the evidence. The chief witness in the matter, now the national chairman of the NDC, in his confession indicated that they knew that case, they didn't have evidence, and they went to court without pink sheets, and the whole exercise, you knew when it ended that they just knew they were putting up appearance. And so this is a follow-up to the NDC's exceeding experimentation with our courts. And I think that is unacceptable. It's not anything we should continue to condone. If you have a valid case, I'm not sure, the law has been practiced for many years. And I'm not sure that it will be a glaring situation of right that the law somehow will turn on its head and people in this country will not realize it. So the NDC is extremely politicizing our court, attacking people unduly. Sami made a case about the Chief Justice. How long has she been in office? That they won't tolerate it, that the way political cases have been, heard by this Chief Justice, they won't. How long has she been in office? How long? She came into office June last year or so. And so what is the case Sami is talking about? The NDC is exceedingly dramatizing issues in this country, and you find that it's a deliberate strategy to constrain us, to get us to deal with matters that are just back and forth, as opposed to dealing with the future, with the bold decisions that we have to make as a people to move on. And if we give Sami the rest of the day, he will go on and lament and lament and lament. Zero solution about anything. And that's really what they are doing. I don't understand for the life of me that there are ministries in this country today, per the president's reshuffling of his appointees, don't have ministers. And a political party like the NDC finds it convenient to go to court, to litigate that matter, and then stand on the sidelines and make a press conference or lament that that case is being heard faster. Don't they realize that the business of state is suffering? You can stay your argument about, number this, number that, but the point is that on substance, the state's business is left unattended. So that you are telling me that that's okay, that a democracy that requires A, B, C, D to be in place, that you're saying that it's okay that let's have that case be heard much later in time, so that the ministries that we're talking about, the appointees that have been put in position to go and serve this state, should languish or should not be there, and so the business of state is left unattended. That is the NDC's preference. Is that what they are promising Ghanaians? That when they come, they'll take it easy. They won't take the business of state seriously. Some of these cases for me are frivolous, and I think that I don't use the word because the Supreme Court used it, but I'm using it because that's what I feel about it. Completely frivolous. If there is any other word beyond frivolous, that's what I use. Because what is the material value of that litigation? Except to say that, oh, there's a case to do with the anti-LGBTQ thingy, so let's try and equalize on that score. What is the substance? What are you seeking to gain? What damage is being caused to the state? These are ministers who have been vetted. In the case of Kojo Nkrumah, for example, he's been vetted twice already as a minister. So really, and there was even a case when we came into, I think the 2021 vetting, people were making the case that, well, an individual who is a minister, again, had to be vetted again, and all of those things. So that issue is one that is, see, you'll be making this point, I learned it from you, is a form of a substance argument. It's a completely frivolous issue. Except politically you want to make a point to say that, oh, because President says so and so and so, we too want to do exactly what Speaker quoted. And I think that is most unfortunate. And we need to get serious. And if we are sitting in opposition, throwing stones in the park, saying that, oh, this is that, then talk about substance. Let's talk about the solutions of the problems that you say exist. Tell us what you're going to do about the problems that we're faced, rather than getting everybody off the field to go and talk about something on the sideline. The business of this country must be taken more seriously, and the NDC is dragging all of us to a playhouse to deal with their fantasies of equalizations and matters to do with the experimentation with the law. And I find that most unfortunate. So this case, all I'll tell you is to say that we should move on from this matter. And personally, I think this will be the last I will urge our people to talk about it. The NDC can stay and languish about that. In fact, the court is independent. Last time when they called them and they ridiculed the Supreme Court saying they are unanimous, FC and the rest, the verdict came. And that the unanimous position of the court was actually right, because the General Secretary, then the chairman of the NDC, confirmed that he didn't have any evidence. And if he didn't have any evidence and he went to court and all the justices on the case agree that you don't have a case, then you can tell me that the same political party cannot come and accuse the same Supreme Court. Because when they were falsely putting that information out there, causing Ghanaians to disbelieve the Supreme Court, to distrust the Supreme Court, they themselves, by some design, by God or whatnot, the audio came to say that we know we don't have evidence going into that case. So therefore, the Supreme Court's unanimous decision was right. And in fact, if the Supreme Court will be indicted, or their credibility will be in question, if in that matter, at least even one dissented, then the evidence comes that, oh, the NDC themselves don't have evidence going into that case, then we will actually have cause to say the Supreme Court is not clean. But all of them said, no, you don't have a case. And truly, they didn't have a case. So for me, the NDC is just looking for a scapegoat. They are looking for something to occupy time, to prevent them from talking about what is it they want to do, which they have not told us. They're only saying that, oh, things are bad, and so somehow election up and down, so they think they can win. No, we should talk about the issue and save Ghana all these completely frivolous cases. The Chief Justice, as we speak, has been in office less than a year, but then you have made everything about her. You have made your problem, oh, the Chief Justice is not accepting this, we can't tolerate that. It's completely wasting our time. I think that we should move on from this matter. There is no wrong done here in terms of what I have seen. The only thing outstanding for me to be determined is whether or not, upon filing the request for the case to be heard expeditiously, whether the plaintiff in the matter was duly served for which reason they should be in court, but unfortunately they were not in court. If that matter is cleared, I don't see anything that the NDC should wear suit and tie on a day, on their birthday to come and sit in the studio and be arguing about it. It's much ado about nothing. Right. And it is only to preoccupy the country, to talk about the things that are not consequential so that they avoid talking about the real issues in this election.
All right, okay. We'll take a break.
Okay.
When we return, we'll wrap up on this one. And then there is something that maybe Richard will consider
important.
I'm
sure you should be doing so.
This is a call to you. The dreamers. The ones that see no boundaries.
Dreamers take a chance.
The explorers that chart their own path.
Unlock the vibes, connect the energy.
The ones that dare to challenge the status quo.
Get connected, feel the
When others try to think outside the box, you wonder, what box?
Catch the wave, enjoy the ride.
To the architects of their journeys. Every connection is an opportunity to explore every experience. This is your call to adventure. Your journey begins here. Be bold, be daring, be free. Connecting passions, connecting dreams, connecting ambitions. Telecel, connecting energies.
It's good to stay strong together. It's good to share nutritious meals cooked with Frital, a vitamin A fortified oil. Frital, you deserve a life of goodness. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with your front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot. You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Yes, in business, Appointed Time Printing Limited has delivered quality service to some of Ghana's well-known brands. With our equipment capacity, we are able to deliver 1,500 pieces of polo and t-shirts in 1 hour. This is only possible with us. For retailers and wholesalers, we offer for sale high-quality polo shirts and t-shirts in different colors at affordable prices. We have a one-stop shop for all creative designs and billboards, 3D signages, flexi banners, car branding, stickers and posters. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454167. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Appointed Time GH, Appointed Time Printing Limited. Our printing is a
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks networks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patcho bantama.
Machasi.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we use to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa. Kile kosen. Cal 360 did the work. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show. I have the two birthday gentlemen. The current one, Sammy Jemfi, and the belated one, Richard Ayagba. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, I was God the Mola, God the Power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on their website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some mola. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mola, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Ayesoko, that Kosombo dam be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply and it's not for persons under 18. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans energy drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans energy drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchases, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208-128190 or 0550010000. And still in the spirit of Ghana Month, the next stop for your attention is Osu Oxford Street for the ultimate Easter shopping experience. Ignite Media Group presents the long-awaited Easter Sales Expo dubbed This is Ghana, parading a colorful display of made in Ghana brands and products. The Easter Sales Expo, happening from the 29th to 31st of March 2024 at Oxford Street, brings together buyers and sellers from all over Ghana for a festive shopping experience. Coming with irresistible discount offers, this is an incredible deal for traders, merchants, entrepreneurs, and anyone in business. For as little as 300 Ghana cedis, you get to showcase your brand or products through live TV interviews, commercials, and more. So for more information, contact us on 0244 598 747. or 0548390970. That is 0244598747 or 0548390970. This is Star Sales Expo is sponsored by Appointed Time Printing, AH Hotel and Conferences, Legon, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Original 91.9 FM, Metro TV and Original TV. See you there from tomorrow, the 29th, to Sunday, the 31st of March. Don't miss out on the ultimate Easter shopping experience, dubbed This is Ghana, happening live on the Oxford Street. Yes.
Yeah,
so let's wrap up on this. Yes.
Let me wrap up. He said a lot of things. If I want to respond to everything, we won't get time for the other issues, but I'll be snappy. Clearly, Doc, Richard is lost in the jungle. He doesn't have a clue about the issues we are discussing. I don't know whether he spoke with the AG before he came. Because if he did, I'm sure he would have educated him. Because the kind of things Richard is saying on this matter, I'm shocked. You know, Doc, we are confusing two things here. And it's important that we clarify so that those watching who are not lawyers can be educated. What Godfred Dame, the Attorney General, claims to have done is not a motion for abridgment of time. When we say motion or an application for an abridgment of time, or of abridgment of time, what we mean is that, you see, Doc, usually when you file your case in courts, the registry of the courts, when they write the suit number and everything, you know, they stamp it and everything, they give you a return date on the face of the process you have filed. The return date is the date that the court will be hearing the matter. But there are times that the courts may be, you know, overstretched, or for one reason or the other, the registry of the court may not be in the position to give you a hearing date upon filing the process. So if the registry is able to give you a hearing date upon filing, and say this, they give you a hearing date of 1st April, you understand, as the return date for the hearing of your application, then before that 1st April, the court on its own motion or a party to the case by an oral application can apply to the courts for the date to be abridged, meaning for the date to be brought forward from 1st April to 28th March, or for the date to be extended. So you only motions on notice, okay, or notice of motion for abridgment of time are filed when a hearing date has been fixed, when a matter has been fixed for hearing, and a party thinks that the date is too far, then the party goes to court and applies on notice to the other parties that, my lord, can we bring the date forward? In some cases, they apply for extension and it is extended, but that is when you have been given a hearing date. Now, in the case of Roxanne, Dafia Mapo, the last guy, and the cases we are talking about here, no hearing dates were given when the applications were filed or the writs were issued. No hearing dates were given. I'm sure the registry of the Supreme Court might have told them that maybe they will have to consult with the CJ. Usually that is the process before a date can be fixed for that case. So once a date cannot be fixed, you can't go to what time? Because no date has been fixed. Doc, I hope you understand me. So what the Attorney General says he did was to write a letter. That is not an application for abridgment of time. A letter. That is not an application. You understand me? And so it's a letter he wrote to the CJ that I want this matter to be listed for hearing on the 27th of March. And that is why the course list for the 27th of March was revised. Because the original course list, that case was not on it. So it was revised and the case was added to it by the Chief Justice. I want to believe that the AG is being honest when he says that he wrote a letter to the Chief Justice. So what we are saying is that, you see, Doc, when you send a case to a judge, do you know that you as a party, you and your lawyer, you can't go and see the judge alone. The judge will sack you. ethically, the judge will say, unless I hear you, go and bring the other party. Because the judge doesn't want to have ex-party communication with any client or any party in the case. When the judge will meet you outside of court, the other parties must be present. Because justice must not only be done, justice must be seen to have been done. So the court ensures that in dispensing justice, everybody has trust that the process is transparent, fair, impartial, and so on. So we are saying that if Godfrey Dame wanted an abridgment of time, he should have waited for the Supreme Court to give a hearing date. And usually, once the return date was not on the face, was not entered upon the filing of the process, a hearing notice would be sent on all parties. And if the Attorney General thought that that date was too far, he could apply for the time to be abridged on notice to the other parties. If he wanted to also write to the CJ, which is not, abnormal, it's not irregular. You can write, a party can write to the Chief Justice that this, because of A, B, C, D, do this. But the ethical thing for every lawyer to do is to copy. In any case that you are a lawyer in, if you are writing a letter to the CJ or to the judge or to the registrar, Master, this one is elementary law. This one is elementary when it comes to ethics. I'm happy that there's another lawyer in the studio. You must copy the lawyer on the other side. So what the AG...
the other lawyer is interested in the extractives.
Lithium and the rest.
Don't
but this is trite. You can ask anybody. You must copy. If you don't copy them, then it means that you have something to hide. If you are writing a letter to the Chief Justice for a case to delay, we don't even know what is in that letter. So if you have nothing to hide, if there is nothing illegal, nothing unconstitutional in that letter, you show your hands. This is standard. So what the Attorney General has done, claims to have done, if it is true, because we don't even know whether in truth he wrote that letter. But if it is true that he wrote that letter, his claim is conduct. And the leader of the bar should not be conducting himself that way. Ask any lawyer, whether if you are a lawyer for a party in a matter, you can write a letter to either the Chief Justice or the Registrar of the Court without copying any of the parties. It is not done anywhere. So please understand it. This is not abridgment of time matter. Number two, I am surprised that Richard will sit here and say the issues we are raising are irrelevant. They are frivolous. They are not important. They are not of consequence. Master, what are you talking about here, Richard? What is happening to you this morning? We are talking about issues of justice delivery and the need for the head of the judiciary to exhibit fairness in the discharge of her discretionary powers. And you, a Democrat, you, a citizen of this country who should be interested in justice, fairness, in having strong institutions, having a strong judiciary, an independent Chief Justice. You are here saying that a conversation on justice or injustice, bias or otherwise, fairness or unfairness is irrelevant. Hey, Master, where will you go? It's the same court. And irrespective of the party in power, irrespective of who is Chief Justice, you must get justice. So if we are saying that Richard Delaskai filed his suit 2 weeks before Roxanne, why hasn't his suit been listed for hearing? And a matter which was filed 2 weeks after has been listed for hearing, when we know the political significance of these two cases. You are saying this is irrelevant? What are you talking about here? Even the substantive matter that Honorable Roxanne has filed, what is irrelevant about it? Haven't you heard of the case of G.H. Mensah versus Attorney General? Do you know that G.H. Mensah was your former minority leader? Do you know why he went to the Supreme Court challenging the decision by Jerry John Rawlings in 1997 to direct that his ministers and deputy ministers under his first tenure should continue as ministers and deputy ministers? Even after Jerry John Rawlings realized that, of blessed memory, realized that he got it wrong, and presented those nominations to Parliament for approval. Doc, do you know that J.H. Mensah still pursued the matter? In fact, the Attorney General at the time raised a preliminary objection of mootness. That once Jerry John Rawlings' government had realized that they had erred and had remedied their constitutional breach by submitting those appointees to Parliament for prior approval, then the matter had been rendered moot. The Supreme Court said no. Because there is a tendency for this situation to reoccur, we will still deal with the matter. And today, that is one of the most important cases in our jurisprudence in terms of constitutional law, on the doctrine of mootness and all that. So maybe, I don't know what is happening to our brother here, that you will say that the president issues a statement that he has revoked the appointment of certain ministers. He has dismissed them from office with immediate effect, and then proceeds to reassign them. And then a member of parliament, just like J.H. Mensah, goes to court and says, once you revoke the appointments, any reassignment is tantamount to a fresh appointment, and therefore must be subject to prior approval by parliament as required by the constitution, the supreme law of the land, which every citizen is enjoined to uphold and defend. And you come and sit here and say that case is useless. Then you don't understand constitutional law and the democratic jurisprudence we are working with in this country. Number 3, and that is my last but one point. He says that the Chief Justice has only been in office for 1 year. So why are we criticizing her? And so what? Sometimes, even 1 day after the swearing into office of a president, don't we criticize him? When Akufo-Addo went and plagiarized somebody's speech on the day of his inauguration, didn't we criticize him? But you wait for somebody to spend 100 years in office before you criticize the person. If the Chief Justice even spends 1 day in office, but in the exercise of her administrative functions, acts in a way that does not show fairness, we will criticize her. It doesn't matter whether she has been in office for 1 minute. If she has not used that 1 minute fairly, she must be criticized. So criticism is not a function of longevity in office. Understand that. Finally, he says that all the cases we are sending to courts are frivolous. They are this. Are you a court? Are you a court? You are relying on the decision of the Supreme Court in the 2016 election petition case. Let's say the Supreme Court was right. Right. And what else?
Not 2016.
And what else?
I said 2021.
2021. Good. When you went to court in 2012, did you win? Did you win? When Akufo-Addo went to court and Bawumia was standing in the witness box, you and I were not there. Doc, you remember? You and I were not there. Did you win? Were you not thrown out? So that means that, by your logic, any case that you take to court is frivolous. Who told you that? That once you go to court and you lose, then any other case you send subsequently is frivolous. Yes, sir. Don't be doing this, Richard. You know you are my brother. And today is my birthday, so I want to be very kind and charitable, but don't be doing this. It is not right. Every case is considered by the courts on its merits. I agree that the application for injunction in the case of Roxanne and the application for injunction in the case of Richard Delasky are all frivolous. To the extent that I've told you,
well, that's a matter before court, and
but you
should know.
That's my opinion.
I didn't speak about
hold on. To the extent that, and Roxanne himself knows, but we are showing you the absurdity of the position the president has taken. That, Mr. President, you are a lawyer, okay, and you know that as the president and also Parliament cannot be injuncted from performing its constitutional duties. Case law on that is settled. So a mere application for injunction. So Mr. Speaker is telling you
I've been sent this by the producer.
Yeah.
And it indicates that this is from, the name is Wilberforce Mensah. Spokesperson for the Attorney General.
He was my vice president when I was SRC president. That's my friend.
Okay. Yeah. So it says, so it means this is coming from the
office.
On 11. Yeah. See, yesterday the Chief Justice herself stated in open court that there are a lot of constitutional cases where the plaintiff files and hardly takes any further action. As a lawyer, if you file a case, you know what to do if the case is not moving. The AG has filed all necessary processes in that case. It is up to the plaintiff to do the necessary under our procedures to move the case. On the application for expedited hearing yesterday, the practice is not to write a letter and copy the other side. The practice is to apply in writing to the CJ, stating reasons for expedited hearing, and the court then issues a hearing notice to the other side, and that's exactly what happened. So it was not an application for abridgment of time as in a motion. If time has been given already by the registrar and you want it earlier, you file a formal motion for abridgment of time.
Is that not what I said?
If time has not been given already, as was the case, you write to the CJ or registrar asking for an early date.
Yes.
In any case, it is key to note that the lawyer for Parliament agreed unequivocally with the AG and asked that the injunction application be struck out as frivolous.
Yes. Doc, he's worsening the case because you see, this is in tandem with what I said. But the key point here is that it is not true that as a party in a case, when your matter has not been listed for hearing, and you are writing to the Chief Justice for an expedited trial, you don't copy the other parties. Who told him that? That's my mate from law school. That is not true. What do you have to hide in that correspondence that you will not like the other parties in the case to see? So what is he talking about? He should not forget the law we all taught in law school because today he speaks for Godfred Dame. He's my good brother. Like I said, he was my vice president when I was SRC president. Number two, that quotes he attributes to the Chief Justice. I hope the Chief Justice didn't say that in open court. But if the Chief Justice said that, that would be very disappointing. People have filed cases before the Supreme Court. They have been writing letters, like the case against the Tolon MP. They've been writing letters to the Registrar of the Supreme Court just to get a cover letter to serve the Member of Parliament. The Registrar of the Supreme Court is frustrating the process. After years of frustrating them, they claim we have written the letter. Give them a copy so that they can follow. You say you won't give them a copy. What should the lawyer do? So today when you file a case in court, you are supposed to follow up and ensure your case is called. Either than that, your case will never be called. What is the work of the Chief Justice and that entire judicial administration?
As a lawyer, if you file a case, you know what to do if the case is not.
Okay, also as a Chief Justice, when the case is filed, doesn't she know what to do?
Okay.
The Registrar of the Supreme Court, doesn't he know what to do? That once a case has been filed, the normal thing, the responsibility is that of the court to list the matter for hearing. The responsibility is not that of the lawyer for the applicant or the plaintiff. The responsibility is inherently the responsibility of the court. The lawyer just can follow up and ensure that if there are any bottlenecks, the matter is fast-tracked.
Right.
But the Chief Justice or the Registry of the Supreme Court cannot shirk its responsibility or shift that responsibility to lawyers in cases. So now, if I file a case in the court, then I now have the responsibility, not the court, to ensure that my matter will be called. What's the meaning of that? What's the meaning of that?
Yes.
You know the number of people who have written letters to the Chief Justice for matters to be listed which has not been done. Let's be fair here, because you will not be in power forever. One day you may go to court to seek justice, and we will expect that you will get justice. Your case will not be delayed because you have filed a case against government. I don't know, because of politics, because you are in government. Like, you've thrown good conscience to the wind.
All right, okay.
But Doc, let me just conclude. Because this is my time. Let me conclude.
In a minute, then I'll come to you.
Let me conclude. Look, Richard, I don't know about you. But for me, I don't want my children to be taught that men can sleep with men and women can sleep with women.
We're not talking about that.
That is what we are talking about here. That is the genesis of this matter.
Please.
And that you see, you didn't allow me to even help you once.
No, I'm just saying that.
Let me just conclude.
Let me conclude.
No. What is the last case about?
But that's what the last case is not what we're talking
President
about.
President Akufo-Addo could rely on. Hold on.
Sammy, let's not go into that.
I'm coming. I'm not going into the merits. I'm saying that President Akufo-Addo could rely on suits pending before the Supreme Court to say Parliament should not perform a constitutional duty. So are you saying that the president is tolerating frivolity if those cases are frivolous, like Richard is saying? And number two, I am saying that the cases, whether the Delaskai case or the Rosen Dafio-Makpos case, cannot be frivolous. In the case of Dafio-Makpos, I've told you, based on the case of J.H. Mensah versus Attorney General, the importance of that case to our jurisprudence. And in the case of Delaskai, it is even more important because it is about the survival of our society. It's about the future of our children. So if there is any case which must be fast-tracked, it is the case of Delaskai, which is seeking to prevent a law seeking to prohibit the promotion of LGBTQ in Ghana. That case you should be interested in. You should join us in demanding that the Chief Justice let that matter for hearing. All right, that's the point I'm making. Because about our children, unless you want your children to be taught in school that human beings can sleep with animals and men can sleep with men. That's what you don't say that.
Sami is just moralizing and talking plenty because he knows he's off base. Really. The letter or the note you read from the AG's spokesperson or assistant is clear. The explanation there is that you write to seek for expedited hearing because a time was not given in the case.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody can do that. I don't know if Sami is talking about a norm or an express rule in the law that when you write such a letter, you copy the other party. If it's just a norm for good measure, that it is us lawyers, so you write and you give me. But I mean, please, it's not. If it's a norm, then it is not required.
Who told you?
No. Norms are not burdens. They are things for good measure that you will do, please. So if it's not done, somebody cannot come here and argue that as a matter of law he has to. It's not the case. Okay? You see, something. This whole
let me read this to you on the basis of this. So there are a lot of this as Nana Megache, Justice of the Supreme Court.
Wow.
Atugu, no, not he sending it.
Okay, it's a case.
Okay. So Atuguba and Associates versus Scipion Capital UK Limited. Okay. So this is Nana Megache JSC sitting as a Supreme Court judge in the matter. I says, quote, the instruction from the respondent to the appellant is to request the appellant to engage in an ex parte communication with the judge. We find this request unfortunate, especially coming from a firm of solicitors in the United Kingdom. We condemn the directive in no uncertain terms and reiterate that Ghana is not one of the countries where ex parte communication with judges is permitted. The rules of judicial conduct in Ghana prohibit judges from engaging in ex parte communications. Lawyers are also prohibited by the rules of legal ethics from communicating with a judge in the absence of the opposing counsel.
That's what I've told you.
Ex parte communication is an attempt to overreach the opposing party and influence the judge to decide in favor of the party making the contact. An ex parte communication undermines the fairness of the justice delivery system and an ongoing judicial proceeding and creates a dent in public trust in the legal and court system. We wish to state that the justice delivery system is the last hope of the citizenry in a democracy. When everything else fails them, the justice delivery system should not fail them. It is therefore important that rules put in place for the justice system to thrive and serve the citizenry without fear or favor are respected by all, Ghanaians and foreigners alike. End of quote.
So,
are you going to debate?
Well, please, Sami, just relax, okay? What he said is not what is happening.
Why?
That what you just read.
Why?
Communication with the Chief Justice in respect of seeking a case to be heard.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
It's not a conversation seeking to advantage one over another. It is. Wait, please.
All is saying
in this
is
matter,
that
he's saying that
the
content of the conversation.
It says lawyers are also prohibited by the rules of legal ethics from communicating with a judge in the absence of the opposing counsel.
That's it.
Ex parte communication, which means that
the
communication without
the notice.
Yes, with the other person.
I hear that. I hear the point.
It's an attempt to overreach the opposing party and influence the judge to decide in favor of the party making the contact.
Okay, so in light of what you just read, I tell you that it's not applicable to an acceptable rule of one writing to seek for a case to be heard expressly. I'm saying.
How?
Is it the case? Is it the case that a lawyer can write, or party in a case can write for a case to be heard earlier because of some reasons?
But not ex parte.
No, I'm saying that
by a Megache DSC.
Yes, but I'm saying that facility is it available? Is that facility available?
Yes, but not ex parte.
No, I'm just saying. He didn't say on that matter, on this matter specifically, that what is allowable in law, that yes, in a case where a time has not been determined, and then you, a party in the case, seeing that the case is urgent. In this case, there is no way you can tell me that holding the president's nominees in abeyance.
No, that's not the point.
But I'm saying
the issue is that
I agree.
Why would the other parties in the matter?
But you see,
not be made aware.
If you just hear me out, the evolution of the rules and ethics are based on sound logical reasoning. Is that not the case? So that there's opportunity for you, because in a case that a time has not expressly been given, but you know the matter carries weight and has implication, okay, on the state's business, so that you, Attorney General, write. It could be my brother Roxon, who is writing to say that we want this matter to be heard today or tomorrow.
Be at the blind side?
But what is the blind side? There is no blind side in this matter. The question is, the question is that, the opportunity to write for early hearing of the case was available to both of them, right? And the Attorney General, seeing the value of the implication of that injunction, writes for that case to be heard. He is not saying that hear it in my favor. He said that we want to hear the case early. And then please hold on. No. But that's what the rule was saying. Judge, please.
Without notice
Sammy, be quiet. No, sorry. Be quiet. What you read from the Nyamagachi said is quite different from what case is this that Attorney General write for a hearing, because there is no time given expressly for the case, and you, the Attorney General, finds that is affecting government. That's not the same thing he's talking about. He's talking about ex parte communication that will tilt. Okay, that will have a conversation in the benefit. If you read what you just read, it says that in the benefit,
it says lawyers are also prohibited by the rules of legal ethics from communicating with a judge in the absence of the opposing counsel.
Yes. Now, what is the impact of that? Saying that so that the case will be, influenced by that communication.
So that you don't overreach.
No. Exactly, that's what he's saying.
But I'm just saying that have cause to suspect the judge of bias.
Sami just wants to be right, and then you are just indicating that to support. But the point I'm making is that the availability to write a letter to say that I want the hearing be done sooner because a time was not given in that case was available to all lawyers. And that, when you write the letter to the Chief Justice or the court seeking that time to be brought forward or a time to be set and set sooner, the court then writes to the person to come to court. So that is not an exclusionary process. It's a process to say that, Syria, I want us to start the program early. And who is our host?
Are you doubting that I can get a common sense bit you're dealing with?
Yes, that's all there is.
No, please. Are you doubting that per the rules of court, per the ethics of the legal profession, ex parte communication is unethical? Are you saying that it is not the case?
I'm not saying that.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying to you is that in this case, the application or the letter he's writing has basis in practice.
Which practice?
The practice to say that you can write to seek for a time in a case, okay, that is before the court, that the time has not been given. I'm just saying,
the ethics say that although you can do that, it must not be ex parte.
So what is compromising? Well, of course, what is compromising about let's hear the case early, and it's the written letter. Upon receipt of that letter, you, the plaintiff in the case, will be notified that the date for this matter has been set, and which service was given, and you said you shouldn't accept it. So the point we are making is that we are trying to make the minor the major.
Just last
and the major the minor. And that for me is very worrying.
It came out in the Kennedy Japan versus Anas case that indeed the Honorable Kennedy Japan had written to the judge, to the Chief Justice, asking for a change of the judge. And this was done without recourse to the other parties. And indeed, the Chief Justice went ahead and acceded to this request without recourse to the other party. They only found that out when they got to court and realized that the judge in the matter had been changed. And that the judge in the matter had been changed upon a request by a party
to the Chief Justice,
to the Chief Justice without recourse to the other parties.
Syria.
Please, just hold on, let me finish. You see, Syria, we are not discussing a case with Honorable Kennedy Japan. We are discussing a specific case.
I am not. I'm
going to make a point. Yes, I'm just making.
It's not the Honorable Kennedy Japan.
Yes, I'm making that point.
A practice by a Chief Justice
Which Chief Justice?
I'm saying that it's something that was done. This same issue.
Was it with this Chief Justice?
No. I'm saying that it doesn't matter.
No, I'm just asking to be clear.
Matter.
Okay.
Then Megache, I believe, has even left the Supreme Court, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's retired. Yes,
think so.
but I mean,
Richard,
that's
I'm
not I'm just saying that if they say that the ethics prohibits ex parte communication, it prohibits it.
Yeah, so
whether it is in
and every lawyer knows
versus
you who is pretending
the state or Abe versus the state, it doesn't matter.
Those who know,
but of course, listen, the communication you read from the Attorney General's aide or spokesperson is clear that facility that they leveraged to inform the office of the registrar to say that we need a time because a time was not set on the matter cannot by any means, any stretch of the imagination be a compromising communication such that you want the other party to know, or you are seeking the Supreme Court to tilt a case in your balance, which is what the evidence that you read from Nene Megache stated. That's not it.
All right.
So all there is that when the case was filed, a date for its hearing was not stated. And so therefore, as an Attorney General who knows the magnitude of that delay, a possible delay in that case on government business, has written to the Supreme Court or the court to give a date which is sooner. And I don't think that contradicts anything.
Unfortunately, we can't speak about anything.
The impressions I'm creating is completely false.
5 minutes.
Because of time, we can't speak about anything. I also have something very important to do before I bring on the Minerals Commission.
I thought you give us 5 minutes each.
Okay, so I'm giving you 2 minutes each. 2 minutes each whilst we're dealing, because I'd wanted to show some videos.
Okay.
You know. Okay, so let me show the videos of the energy minister then and now.
Okay.
This demonstration is not to topple the government. This demonstration is to indicate to Ghanaians the insensitivity of John Mahama's government. The insensitivity of John Mahama's government. This is not to topple government. We don't advocate for a regime change this way. We are going to vote next year and we are going to vote them out massively. That is good governance. That is partisanship. We are going to democratically remove John Mahama from power. Not do this demonstration. But the demonstration is to demonstrate to John Mahama and Ghanaians that what is going on is bad. If you are feeling the heat, if you are feeling the heat, like Ghanaians are feeling the heat, if you are buying electricity and they are having it for free, if your salary, you are spending 60% of your salary on electricity bills, then you understand what I'm suffering. I am suffering. John Mahama is not suffering. How do you expect the members as a collective to speak on your behalf when you decided to give majority to such a bad government, NBC? Ghanaians should realize that your term matters. Your term matters. When you go and vote, you have to know that the consequences are ahead of you for the next 4 years. The term that Ghanaians gave to John Mahama has shown that they should never. This demonstration is not.
All right, so that was a then. I thought we were going to show them now, which has to do with the interview and what he said about Doomso, and then I hear you guys on it. So let's watch that now.
We are going to vote next year, and we are going to vote them out massively. That is good governance. That is partisanship. We are going to democratically remove John Mahama from power. Not do this demonstration, but the demonstration is to demonstrate to John Mahama and Ghanaians that what is going on is bad.
The energy sector, the current power cuts. Some people are saying that you made mention of this, you use this as a campaign against John Mahama, and now we are experiencing a worse situation under President Akufo-Addo. Would it reflect in the 2024 election? Would it be something that people will stand on to vote?
If you are comparing 4 years, MPP administration, energy sector is 300 times better than John Mahama.
But we are still experiencing Doomso.
Nobody has said we haven't. I'm just saying it's far much better than John Mahama ever did.
You do admit that there's doomsor.
That is the word you used. I have never used that word. I promised you that we are going to work on it. And it's not a work that is a single event. It's a process. And we'll continue to work on it for the energy sector to become better.
Have you heard of calls for a timetable?
Ask those who want it to bring it.
They should bring the timetable.
If there is, I haven't seen any timetable. So when
people are calling for it.
Say bring a timetable. What do you mean? The ECG says that there's no timetable coming. Why do you want to bring a timetable? What purpose? Why would somebody get up and wish evil or bad for the country? When it is not planned, you can't tell the person. Were you in Ghana under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you live in this country under John Mahama? Did you? I'm asking you a question.
It was equally worse.
It cannot be equally worse.
Look, MPP use it as a tool against.
And I'm saying that even if you are talking about that, it was worse under John Mahama than ever now.
All right, so Richard, is that doomsday or not? Is there a justifiable basis to ask for a timetable?
You see, I've had calls to discuss this issue, and I think that the fact of it is that ECG or maybe the power generating companies are having challenges to do with some of their plants. And the last I checked, Akosombo was down. These are issues that started this year, January, February, toward March. They had a number of their plants down, including, I think, the Tico was down, I understood. Akosombo is down. I think I have a list of them here. But generally, it's an issue to do with technical challenges that they are dealing with, as a matter of fact. Yes, so I think in January or so, Akosombo number 1 was down. Tico, Akosombo that produced about 160, Tico 110, Send Power 350, Bui number 3 I think was down for plant maintenance. The Twin City also down for plant maintenance. So there's general difficulty through the power generating companies in making sure they are producing, because those maintenance are necessary, and then the unplanned equipment going down also is a factor that is of limiting capacity and ensuring that we don't have enough power to go around. So these technical issues, by understanding, I think the last I spoke with 2 Saturdays ago, I spoke with the authorities or people who are within the space, told me that they are coming along with a solution, and so therefore the matter would actually be resolved very quickly. And you have seen some improvement in the situation. In fact, the ECG boss indicated to me in a conversation that they had to fly in engineers to help bring those equipment back online. So there's a practical difficulty. And I think that is where the constraint is in saying that maybe we don't need a timetable, because they're thinking that, okay, maybe in the next 24 hours we can resolve it, because they have men on the job to try and fix those equipment. And so therefore...
But we've been grappling with this for months.
Right. Not months. I think this started late January or early February was when we started seeing these outages. So my understanding, based on what conversation...
A few years ago, for a 2 week or 3 week period, the ECG gave a timetable.
Right.
You remember?
Yes.
When the same NAPO spoke about Doom CSA, and that they said they were going to do something for 3 weeks, the ECG came up with a timetable.
Yeah. No, I agree. But you see, so the factual...
And in this case, the regulator has even written to ECG 2 or 3 weeks ago, asking it to provide a timetable.
Right. Right. So you see, so
is the Minister of Energy telling PURC that they should create a timetable and bring
it? I don't think that's what he's saying. I think I hear the minister making a clear point to say that the equation of what is happening to doomsday, I think that's what he's dealing with.
What is doomsday?
I agree with
President Akufo-Addo defined doomsday.
No, we know. But then the point is that at the time where doomsday was expressed, you knew that it was a problem of generation. But this one is not a problem of generation because you have the capacity.
What's the problem?
The problem is mechanical. All right.
Which is what?
Which the equipment are down, and so therefore they are not up and running to generate the power. It's different. It's like you are sick and I'm healthy, and you can't produce. You can't come to the studio because you are.
But there are companies that are cutting us off
here,
supply of gas.
Yeah.
And that results in shortfalls, and we have doom. So that's not mechanical.
No, but you see,
that's financial.
But that issue has been resolved a long time ago, so it has no implication on this current conversation. The current difficulty we have is mechanical generation because the equipments are down, and that matter, the people who are working on it, and I just indicated to you that the ECG boss in a conversation told me that they've flown in engineers to try and
that's for their transformers.
No. The transformers actually, it's designed to help, the overload in some areas. So because sometimes they said that the overload can actually cause the trips. So what they have done is that the transformers are brought in so that they can manage the load. So the load is there. In some areas where there are problems, the transformers is just to help manage the load. But the problem which may lead to the lights going off sometimes is not a question of lack of generation in terms of the unavailability, but it is because there are practical mechanical issues that they are dealing with. And that one, as a matter of fact, can happen even to us human beings.
But are they issues
when
that
you are
we
down,
know
you are
about?
down. Sorry?
Or they happen, we know about, or they just happen?
No, so the ones that I mentioned to you, Akosombo, Tico, Sen, and the rest, those were incidental, machine breakdown.
No, but I'm saying that after the breakdown, once the breakdown occurred, were we not then aware that as a result of this breakdown, we'll have a shortfall of XYZ?
Yeah, so I even stated that.
So if we know that, and we know we have an idea of when we'll be able to sort it out, is that not a reason to then bring a timetable to say that on the basis of ABCD, we will lose X megawatts of power, and therefore we need to share it, and therefore this is a timetable?
Yeah, so you see, if you hear the minister in his conversation, he was saying that he's promised that it will be fixed because the people have been flown in to work.
But until it's fixed, what happens?
But I agree. But you see, people are moving to make it about timetable. But the thing is about fixing a problem.
So we shouldn't plan our lives?
No. I'm saying that I know you can plan your life and we must plan our lives. But I'm saying to make it about that, to create the impression that we are in, doomsday era in the sense that we don't have generation capacity. It's not
Richard,
what
I just
is
told you
happening.
that when the minister announced doomsday 3 weeks, ECG gave us a timetable.
I'm not disputing that. All I'm trying to let you know is that the problem we have is not a problem of lack of generation. It's a mechanical issue.
Doesn't matter
that is being
whether it's
addressed.
generation, whether it's financial, whether it's this. I don't have power.
Yeah.
And it is over a sustained period. And it is pretty obvious that there is a particular time or particular times that the light goes off.
Yeah, so
which means that it is planned.
Yeah, I can agree with you that ECG per the PURC's request need to clarify for Ghanaians that look, because these facts are clear that they have a practical difficulty. To tell us that we have a practical mechanical difficulty for which reason your lights are going off because we need to fix them. The machines that we need to generate for you to get your electricity are down. And so on the basis of that, we're giving you a timetable. If they come to that point, I think. But the problem I find is the extreme politicization of the issue to say that give us a timetable which is indicative of the fact that
but it's the PURC.
And for me,
are you saying the PURC is being partisan?
No,
PURC is the one that asks the regulator.
No,
he's the one that asks for a timetable.
You wait till Sami come. He will
no,
tell
I'm
you
saying
that
the regulator,
and that's what, if you are me,
Richard,
you'll be
mindful. The regulator is on record to have asked ECG to provide a timetable. Are you suggesting that the regulator is being partisan?
I'm not saying so. But what I'm just saying is that the ECG's problem, it is not lack of generation capacity.
All right.
It's a problem with a machine
let's hear you.
that has created
unfortunately, I have only 2 minutes.
But you said 2 minutes.
You had 10 minutes.
But we had a conversation. Yours too, mine too.
Just 2 minutes.
I'm sad.
Why?
I'm very, very sad.
Listen to the drama.
What is happening? You can sit here and laugh. Look, on this subject.
Yes.
But you know that yesterday an innocent baby died because of this problem of doomsday. The Tema General Hospital has issued an official statement.
And it says that
Please, we are talking about human rights.
Read the letter. Read the letter.
You don't allow
you haven't read the letter. You haven't read the letter.
Richard, hold on.
You haven't read the letter.
Richard, hold on.
We are talking about serious matters.
Richard, hold on.
Sammy, allow you to reduce
there are two issues here. I need to check on it for me. I've seen a statement from the Tema General Hospital which says that it's unaware of any deaths. Now, there is a news item by TV3 where a mother is interviewed by TV3 and she says that
what
she
are
was
you
supposed
talking
to go
about?
and see her baby at 4 a.m.
Read the letter.
Tema General Hospital. Situational report on lights out at the Tema General Hospital. The Tema General Hospital attention has been drawn to a video circulating on social media which is reported to have occurred at the facility.
So that's the statement on the
facts as follows. The incident.
That's the statement.
Just paragraph 4 incident. Listen. This incident.
The incident of the lights out
happened on Tuesday, 26 March 2024, when the power from the national grid was interrupted, and the facility was relying on its power plant. The dedicated generator set to the National Intensive Care Unit tripped off for a short period, and the hospital's electricians worked to restore power to the unit until the national grid was restored. It must be emphasized that power was restored within 2 hours by the electricians at the facility. It is worth noting that no lives were lost as a result of this power outage. The Tema General Hospital assures the general public that the facility will continue to put the health and safety of the patients at the core of its business. So what we know from this statement is that at least the lights stripped. But they are saying nobody died.
So that's why
we are having. Hold on.
I was telling you that there are two issues.
Yes.
There is a TV3 news item where they interview the mother of the said baby who has.
And in fact, I've seen the brother of the mother of the baby.
Yes, and the woman.
All of them. Why would they lie? The interview is okay.
Let's just watch it. Let's watch it.
Light out. Munni, I crack away. I can stay away. Munni, me find this solution. Be a mobile so light. A man colano. I'm a survive.
I was supposed to go and visit my child around 4 a.m. this morning. So when I went there, I couldn't find my child, and the doctor told me to wait outside. So I was outside, and he came that they are sorry because I've lost my child due to the lights out last night.
The hospital is experiencing power outages, causing dissatisfaction among nursing mothers, patients, and family members. During the visit, the light suddenly went off.
The light system is bad. They give 3 minutes, they off it. The way they off the light off here is too much.
But they have genset that comes on.
Oh, look, the gens only here and here, the gent work. But apart from this side and this place, emergency, that place, apart from this side, there's no generator here.
Despite the hospital's generator sets, certain departments, including the maternity block, training center, post-delivery ward, and OPD, are unable to be powered. The neonatal care unit had light, but a nurse on duty confirmed to us the situation wasn't the same when the light went off the previous day. Pregnant women in the antenatal unit face longer review times due to equipment requiring electrical power. The administrator of the Tema General Hospital, Apostle Dr. Samuel Abin Mensah, although declined to speak to the news team on camera, said he's yet to be briefed on whether a baby died or not. He also confirmed although the hospital has generators, the capacity is not enough to power the entire hospital. The hospital...
All right, so just wrap up and let's
look. So TV3 has gone there.
Yes.
They have confirmed that the baby died. The mother has spoken. No mother who has lost a baby will have a reason to lie that my baby is not dead or my baby is dead because there was doom so. Come on, show some candor, show some sensitivity, show some respect. It is indisputable that we are in doom so. The regulator says we are in doom so. That is PURC, finish. All doom so be doom so. What responsible governments are supposed to do for their citizens is to give them a load-shedding timetable so that at least they can plan their lives, because electricity is an essential commodity for the operations of individuals, businesses, and institutions, including hospitals. Lives are at stake here. And so it is an insult to the sensibilities and intelligence of Ghanaians for a Minister of State, our employee who we pay with our taxes, to tell us that if we need a load shedding timetable, we should bring our own. What kind of insult is this? What kind of impudence and arrogance is this? The regulator has directed you, giving you a deadline by 2nd April to publish a timetable. Are you saying that they are all NDC people at PULC? Are you saying that they are all being partisan, they don't know what they are talking about? This problem has lingered on for a long time. And like you said, it's a financial problem owing to the mismanagement of the power sector by this government. But whatever the problem is, Ghanaians want the problem fixed. And in the time being, Ghanaians want honesty on the part of their leaders, sensitivity, and some respect. And by respect, I mean publish a load shedding timetable. If you, as Richard Ahiagba, cannot support this simple, patriotic, commonsensical demand, then all the things you come here to talk about, that we should be nationalistic and all that, is all hogwash.
All right,
please.
Okay.
People are dying. People are dying.
But Syria, you know that the letter expressly said that
no, you have 10 minutes. I spoke in 1 minute.
In the
Let's
hospital.
close.
So that must be already.
So 10 minutes. I spoke in 1 minute.
I have a surprise for you. I have a surprise
came at the wrong time.
Yes.
Surprise.
I have a surprise for you.
All right.
Okay.
Oof.
Do you know him?
Oh, I know him very well.
Okay.
That's my personal assistant.
Okay. But has he told
you know him very well.
Has he told you where the cake is from?
No, he hasn't told me.
Okay. All right.
He hasn't told me. Doc, maybe you can tell me. Rich, the Yakamana. Hey,
but
all these cakes.
What is the share?
Rich, all these cakes. I can't go and put it in the fridge too, because this will spoil it.
Syria,
then you must eat all.
Spoil the cake.
Huh?
Because if I give this to Rich for as a birthday gift, it will get spoiled. You can't eat all in a day.
See, the point, I think we can continue the program, Syria. Because I think we can continue the program.
At least, let me on behalf of the party express our deepest condolences to that family who lost their baby as a result of the doom.
Jesus
even though today also happens to be my birthday, but we'll see what we can do to support them.
The issue I forewarned you that Sabi was going to dramatize this thing. Nobody.
You see the name I mentioned. Have you seen?
Eric J, he's here. He's here.
Nobody is taking this thing lightly. Okay? But the idea the NDC is dramatizing this, for me, is the most regrettable thing. They who cause people to die in this country are just seeking to equalize. That, for me, is the problem. So, Sabi, cut the drama. Let's deal with the problem. This is not the same
Where's
thing.
the drama?
Yeah, the
people
drama,
are sleeping in heat. People cannot work because there is no power.
I can show you pictures.
All they are saying is that
I can show you publications of people who have died. That for me is not what we should be talking about.
Equalization is not what exactly. And the solution.
But you are very busy trying to equalize. That's your problem.
A comprehensive solution of the problem.
Don't
you agree that we should have a load shedding timetable? Don't you agree? Pending the resolution of the problem. Don't you at least agree that we should have a resolution?
Randy says that the show is over, but somehow you want to continue with your dramatization.
No. So unfortunate.
And you have succeeded in bringing Eric over here. your chief diabolic manager. Eric.
Thank you.
You were listening to your boss.
So
attacking.
I'm
the
told
Supreme
that
Court.
one of them is from Mrs. Jemfi.
Wow.
Okay.
Which one?
One of the cakes is from Mrs. Jemfi.
Okay, this one. Oh, I see.
Yes.
All right.
That's your wife?
Yes.
This is from GMG.
Yeah.
MD. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you to the entire Metro TV, especially Good Morning Ghana crew. I'm most grateful for this.
So,
where is this one from?
I'm sure it's from your people.
Where is this one from? What? Oh, okay.
Cakes elements.
Cakes elements. Oh, as a gift. Wow. We're grateful.
Hey guys, if you expect me to go and cut the cake, you won't check my microphone.
Gold plated. Hey. Don't be to give me a special gift.
So let's hope one lithium. You see, come and support us.
Are we coming on or we will?
We're on.
Oh, okay.
29th of April. Okay.
All right. So, all right.
Let's
do this one first. Hey. Okay, so we cut this cake in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Thanks to my lovely, beautiful wife.
Hey.
Same. We cut this cake in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
All right.
Thank you. One. We cut this cake in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Thank you. Thanks to all of you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So up next,
sure.
Minerals Commission.
Thank you.
Thank you, baby.
Requiring electrical power. The Marginal Hospital, Apostle Doctor.
For another awesome encounter at Harvest Praise 2024, the Anapao edition. Join friends and family to praise and worship with anointed ministers Alvin Slaughter, Phil Thompson, Harvest Gospel Choir, and the Harvest Theatre. Harvest Praise is on Good Friday, 29th March 2024 at the First Love Center near Trinity Seminary, Legon. Time 4 p.m. sharp. Dial star 725 star 1155 hash on all networks and buy your tickets now. Sing.
Right, time to delve into the mining industry, where the CEO of the Minerals Commission, Mr. Martin Ejisi. Good morning, Martin. Okay, so last week we had quite an interesting program where I still insist that we are dealing with local content. However,
it is.
Now we are dealing with issues of skills, the skill sets required, and how. So first of all, what are the skill sets required, and how do we acquire these skill sets? And we started a conversation last week where you told us about some of the skill sets that are required, especially in the areas of engineering. We'll probably do a quick recap on those ones, and then we will move on from where we left off.
Ronnie, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to your listeners and viewers. I didn't know that people watch us from afar.
Right.
Yes, last week I think I categorized them into two. If you like, the middle level that later on they grow to become the managers over the years. We discussed that extensively. We mentioned some of the courses. I'll mention them.
Yes.
And then the lower level, the practical, technical, hands-on skills that we have ignored since independence, even though we have all the institutions here. That's what we promised to discuss this week. So as I said, fortunately, many of the programs are run here. We have a specialized institution solely for mining, which is the George Grant University of Mines and Technology, popularly called UMAT. It's in Takwa, which is the mining capital of Ghana. They run practically almost all the programs. And then KNUSC also runs a lot of them. Legon, essentially F-Science. What are these programs that we mentioned? We mentioned mining engineering. We mentioned mineral engineering, geomatics. They tend to train as mine surveyors. We mentioned mechanical. I think this is when I pass around, people call me Fita. And then we also mentioned geological engineering, earth science or geology. We also mentioned now health and safety engineering, a course that was introduced recently. So these are some of the courses. Civil engineering, they can train as geotech. And then I remember I also said this, that you can, if you don't study mining engineering
as a first degree
you can do mechanical and then do master's.
So in view of that, you give parents and students some advice that in case they want mining engineering, they don't get, and they are given some other courses, they should still take it.
Yes. So I have 3 of my staff that read geological engineering. They had first class. They secured scholarships to go and do masters in mining engineering. They come back very good. So if you want to do mining engineering and you are offered civil engineering, go do it. Okay? Yes. And then you could be trained along the likes of geotech, and then you can top up with mining engineering. And they tend to be better. They have broader knowledge, etc. And also electrical engineering. Most people don't know. They require them at the mines because the whole place is full of what we call it electrical installations and co. So we have inspectors electrical. You go to our Takrady office, you go to our Kumasi office, almost all our regional offices we have electrical engineers. Okay, because when they go to the mine, they look at the installations, health and safety. So by and large, these are the ones that we talked about. And then
my first and only time that I've been to an underground mine, I think it was Sir Sam Jonah, who took me there many years, I think about 24 years ago,
like
25 years ago. Yes, and I was shocked. In fact, I found a mining school underground. It was like a whole town.
Yes. That's how it is.
Like. With their own transportation network and everything, there, air conditioning, offices,
ventilation,
schools, yes.
Everything.
Yes.
So these are very critical skills. And then there's one thing, I think you know that, and everybody knows that in Ghana, our obsession with degrees. So that will take me into the practical one, unless you have some extra questions.
No, that's fine.
The obsession we have with degrees. I think ATTC was established, I think I checked, 1966. It was established for a purpose.
Accra Technical Training College.
So,
Kokomlemle.
I think people didn't believe us, so I brought the 2 CVs I mentioned there last week. We don't need to mention their names, but let's just look at them. How somebody who didn't go to secondary school or high school, to be precise, can end up as an engineer. So take the other one, just to let the public know that we take these things seriously. And the 2 are working with us. We'll not mention their name. So here is this gentleman. That's how many years now? It's about 45 years. Randy, he's a principal inspector at the Minerals Commission. He didn't attend secondary school. So he started with, as I said, he was born and bred. So look at his educational background. So he was just running around the community there where the mine is, around the Prestia there. So he was just in a mechanical workshop. Almost all of them have mechanical workshops. Some of them have also advanced to training schools. We'll talk about them. So you will see educational background. Have you looked at that? No, the other one.
Yes, this one.
Yes. Look at the educational background.
Yes.
So he was just running around the workshop there, and I think he was just giving a job at the mine. So then he went to School of Mines and read mechanical craft practice. Randy, no secondary education, mechanical craft practice.
In the year 2000?
Yes. And then Accra Takoradi Polytechnic, now university, accepted him. Then he did mechanical technician, part one.
Yes.
And then, of course, he went to the mine, still working, came back, did a top-up, mechanical technician, part 3. What do you have at the top there?
BSc mechanical engineering.
Yes, mechanical engineering. Now, you look at his job experience. Okay?
Yes.
Even the other things he has done as other courses. So, you see he worked in a mine from 2006 to 2008.
Yes, as a maintenance fitter.
Yes.
Then he moved on as a mechanical fitter lead hand.
Yes.
Then moved on to senior condition monitoring technician.
Yes.
That's for 3 years.
Yes, and he started from 2006.
Yes, 2006. So as of 2006, he had mechanical technician part 3. And he was employed to be a maintenance fitter. He was there for 2 years.
He didn't go to science school.
Yes.
The guys who left him at GSS were reading history and sociology at the university.
Yes. Then from 2008 to 2010, he changed jobs. No, same job, but he became mechanical fitter lead hand. Then same company from 2010 to 2013, he was promoted to senior condition monitoring technician.
Yes.
Then now he changed jobs in 2013 to become maintenance engineer. He still didn't have a degree.
Yeah, because he completed his degree
2015.
2015.
So he still didn't have a degree at this point, but he became maintenance engineer.
Yes.
Then, after the degree, he moved on to a mining company where he was plant maintenance technician.
Yes.
For 6 years.
Yes.
And then, now he's at the Minerals Commission. He's been at the Minerals Commission from 2022.
Yes.
As a principal inspector of mines, machinery.
We hired him 2 seconds. The CV was sent to me, the database. We looked at it. Randy. So this guy, no secondary school. GSS. Even he told me he didn't even complete. Poverty and other things. So he was just walking around and then they just took him there. So here is somebody who didn't go to secondary school. I doubt whether he can produce his GSS certificate. He has a first degree now in engineering. So why do you say that an art student cannot become a doctor? Or if you don't read science, you cannot become an engineer? Randy, he's about 45 years. If you are looking for an engineer, mechanical, any of the mining companies, and my worry is, of course, he's tired of the mines now, and he's good. Next year we'll take him out. We're trying to get him a scholarship to go and do masters in mining, mechanical engineering, in some of the areas which are new now. Now this gentleman, he can even go and read mining engineering.
Right.
And he even become better. So this is a clear case, real life situation of somebody who didn't go to secondary school, can even barely produce his GSS certificate. Now he has a degree in mechanical engineering. And is now an inspector, principal at Minerals Commission, having worked with 2 huge mines in Ghana for several years. Barely 45. Look at the other one. That one is even more interesting.
So his education.
So he too, no secondary school. Then he went to Takoradi Technical Institute. Maybe the equivalent of ATTC.
Yes.
And then I see he has put the NAPTEX. When I Googled it, said National Board for Professional and Technical Examinations. So he did something.
Yes.
And then from there, again, Takoradi Technical Institute, he read intermediate certificate.
Yes.
These are all in electricals.
Yes.
And then he went to Takoradi Technical Technical University, formerly Takoradi Poly. And then he did HND electrical or electronic engineering. So it means that the basics that he has there qualified him to do the HND.
And HND, yes.
So we hired him as an inspector what do you call it? Electrical. So he's in a tacker office. But his case was a bit interesting because he was working as a cleaner. We didn't know.
He was working as a cleaner?
Yes.
Where?
In our office.
Okay.
And then we went for the assessment, like contract cleaner. And then when he brought his CV, we saw all those things. So we reached out to the university to see whether they can let him do degree. Okay? Then they said he should start. But then he said he prefers Takoradi Technical University. So he's now doing the degree in electrical engineering.
So it's interesting.
2 years.
I'm looking from 2020 to 2023.
Yes.
Minerals Commission, Takwa. Security. It says patrol the premises, reported suspicious behaviors and happenings.
Yes.
Ensure safe working environment, emergency response, observe and report. That's it. Meanwhile, he had done national service and industrial attachment. Industrial attachment at Ghana Manganese Company for, I think, a small period in 2014. That was it.
So we're looking for some security guys to run our office. For some reason, he just came and they hired him. So when the regularization was being done, they asked him to bring his CV. Then we saw this. He said, what? Only for me to be told that anything, we have never received any bill regarding our Taka regional office for any electrical repair works.
He was doing it.
He was doing it.
As a security man.
Yes. Not knowing Charlie, okay? So then we quickly upgraded him based on these technical skills. Then we contacted the university to see whether they can allow him. So, UMAT has that reputation to take people and upgrade them. So he got admission to UMAT to do the first degree. And then he also got admission to Takoradi Technical University. He says he prefers that place. That was his former place. 2 years, they'll give him the degree. 2.5 years.
Yeah, so he's now pursuing the degree.
Yes. So that is it. He didn't even go to the JSS. He said he went to primary school. He didn't finish. So he couldn't get a chance to go to GSS. But then he went to Takoradi Technical Institute. Then Takoradi Technical Institute Intermediate Certificate. That to HND, now degree. So he started last year, 2023. 2.5 years, you have a first degree in electrical engineering. He's in our Taka office.
With a lot of practical experience.
No, even he didn't use primary school. Primary school. And then he will, of course, we will let him enroll for the masters in electrical engineering at UMAT. And then some other courses elsewhere. So this is what is happening. I've just brought I didn't want to load you so much. So you now have an inspector, assistant inspector electrical. No GSS, no secondary school. Now doing a degree. HNE electrical. So good. Okay? Then you also have somebody now who also has a degree in mechanical engineering, principal inspector, working 2 large-scale mines. He also GSS, no secondary school. So that professor or Dr. something, I googled his name, but I won't mention here, who took the Minister for Education to the cleaners when the Minister for Education said that you don't need science to become an engineer. It is happening live at Minerals Commission. They didn't even go to secondary school, let alone say they even read arts for them to try and do some certification and convert like your sister or cousin. Yes. So one electrical, one is mechanical. They are the finest.
Could the professor you're talking about, would it not be referring to the system we have and the fact that what we indeed need to do is to deal with this structurally?
It's just old school.
Yes.
And such a person, when you put him as chair of TVET or those who do these academic reviews,
GTech.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble at hand. So I'm saying, Professor Tuguba, Dean of the Faculty of Law, what he has done within the last 2 years, okay? Law school, 40, 50 years. Decanfo, predecessors. Well, they didn't see that. That he's reaching out to every institution, to contribute to build. You see, the faculty is trying to put a hand, hiring lecturers.
They're actually even building a new
and all those ones, getting lawyers and specialized people to come and teach in specialized master's programs and all those things. Where were people? And now, Randy, I'll tell you this. Years ago, if you didn't do first degree, you don't have a first degree, and even have a second class upper, Legon will not take you for MBA.
Yes.
Finance.
Yes.
They won't. And even they were biased towards those who have done admin or those who've come from quantitative background engineering. Then when GIMPA and let alone having a degree and be a chartered accountant. So when GIMPA and UPSA started taking some of the people who don't have a degree, but they are chartered accountants for MBA, then they sat up. Because I was at a business school. I have a master's in public administration. And they will know there was no way. Okay? So all of a sudden now,
I did an MBA without a first degree.
Yes, all of a sudden.
But it's a foreign university.
Yeah, so they had to change because they realized that they were being left behind. Okay? So it tells you that people have gone through hell and pain in this country.
Yes.
Somebody who has finished, like some of our colleagues, when we finished A-levels, 1990, maybe they didn't get the grades good enough for us to go to university together. I read geography first degree. Okay? So some of them went to GIJ and did a diploma then in journalism. Others, and Legon were accepting them postgraduate. But then you couldn't imagine today that somebody who has not got a first degree and is a chartered accountant can be accepted to do MBA.
Meanwhile, at that time, at the time we were talking about, with a GIJ diploma, after 5 years,
they will take you.
No, you'll be taking a Cardiff to go and read a master's with your GIG diploma. After 5 years of practice,
now they have changed.
You were allowed to go to Cardiff to read a master's program. But in Ghana, no university will take you to do a master's program at the time.
The changes started my time. I remember the dean then was Professor Nkrumah. He started the innovations and and then a lot of things changed. And I've just been discussing a guy with you.
Yes.
Over 20 years experience.
Yes.
You can see he read diploma. Those days, the School of Mines used to be a college of the KNUST.
Yes.
So they were doing diploma in mine surveying, diploma in mining engineering, etc. So you can see he read diploma.
Geological engineering.
Yes, and I told you geological engineers can also train as geologists.
Yes.
He took it for a master's program in US.
Yes.
I mean, you've seen the profile and kind of things he's doing. So these are some of the areas that we are talking about. Now, I want to share this with you again on the other technical areas.
Right.
Some of the most sought after areas for the lower level skills, which they can now, courtesy of these two have demonstrated here, they can end up with a degree. Welding, fabrication, instrumentation. Those who do instrumentation, basically what do? They repair, they calibrate, they fix, equipment and monitor devices. So they will train them. And I was just going through the program at ATTC, Accra Technical Training Center, which was set up when 1966. And I want to take you to some of the programs that they read. So you can read there that are relevant to the mining, sector. So I was going through some of their websites, and I see a whole lot of programs there. So I see auto body repairs, creative arts technology, electrical engineering, electronics, industrial maintenance, mechanical, motor vehicle, plumbing, welding and fabrication. There were about 18 listed there. Let me tell you the ones that are relevant for the mining industry. So they've asked me to come and speak to some of the guys there. So clearly, Randy, electrical engineering technology, electronics engineering, industrial maintenance, mechanical engineering, welding and fabrication technology. Now, if you click on mechanical engineering, it takes you to the tail end, and I want you to look at those two indicators there. It says certification and progression. So they've put there certification. When you finish, they'll give you mechanical engineering technology, certificate number 2, technical exams unit. I want to believe that this institution can admit GSS people.
Yes.
Then you have the progression, mechanical engineering technician. You have part 1. Then you have mechanical engineering technician part 2. Then you have mechanical engineering technician. Then you have HND mechanical engineering.
Yes.
So you can do, let's say, the part 1, get a job at the mine. Their maintenance workshop. Work about 2-3 years. Or if you like, you can persevere, do part 1 and 2, get some job, work for a while, come back, do the HND. You understand? And go back and work. And then the HND mechanical engineering, they have production or plant option. This one, UMAT will take you for the degree.
Right.
You don't have to do 4 years.
You do a top up.
Yeah, top up, maybe 2 years.
Yes.
Okay. So if you have, and then they will just look at some of the courses that you didn't do and then add it. You understand? So
there's a pathway.
There's a pathway.
There's a pathway.
Yes. So this Minerals Commission guy who has a degree now, I'm sure when he couldn't enter secondary school, those he started primary school, his parents were laughing at him. But he has a degree now. You understand? Yeah. And he will beat any of his colleagues who continued to secondary school, who went to some of his elite school and then even read mechanical engineering at the university. Anytime he presents, and he's just 45
So
years.
when you see his, just like the TTC one,
yes,
you see that he did the mechanical technician 1.
Yes.
And then the 2.
Yes.
You know, and then the mechanical engineering technician.
Yes.
Before the BSc. Yes. So you see that he went through that progression.
Yes. So here am I live saying that 4 of the courses being offered at ATTC, and they do the same thing at Takrady Technical Institute, are so critical to the mining industry in terms of the numbers.
And which are these 4?
These 4. So you have, let me go back to the main course program. You have electronics engineering.
Right.
Okay. You have mechanical engineering, even industrial maintenance. Then you have welding and fabrication. Okay, so let's click on welding and fabrication. So you see the construction that is going on at Cardin and all those things. They have a lot of welders and people who are doing fabrication there. Welding and fabrication technology. This is ATTC. And you see the whole list of the kind of things they are taught there. Go to the tail end. So this is what they do. So if you go to, let's say, Golden Star, whether the underground or surface, you go to Boise, you go to Takwa Goldfields, you go to Dama and all those things. They all have maintenance workshop. Okay? So the machines they use daily. So they need these people to be welding. Okay? Looking at them. Like my IT guys at Mincom, they are always fixing stuff for us. Checking why the system is slow, this person's thing has gone off and all those things. So welding and fabrication, mechanical, and then electrical, okay? And another area too is those who ride these jumbo trucks. We have to bring people from South Africa.
Really?
Yeah, short supply. Because when you train the Ghanaians, they go to Burkina Faso. The Burkina Faso were okay, then they asked them to leave. So a lot of the Ghanaians have left for Mali, DRC, you know, they've gone to Australia.
And drive
a lot of money.
Mining trucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But Randy, what am I saying? These are the kind of things they will laugh at you.
But where is that taught at?
Where is that taught at? Those, the jumbo ones, they don't, you know, teach
just
them.
need to have a certain license.
Yes. So right now, I've just sent you some information. So Goldfields, for example,
yes,
has started this rig training school because you see, for a very long time, people were not patronizing these courses.
Is it Anglo Gold Ashanti?
Yeah.
Or no,
Goldfields.
Instrumentation engineers.
Yes.
Okay.
People were not patronizing these courses at our polytechnics because you know the mentality for dropouts. And you couldn't pass your BECE. So we are going to Infancy Primary School, Biherco and Co. You didn't do well. Even when he's going to those schools, people don't want him to know, you know, that he's attending those schools. So they go there, GSS, he finishes those things. But at the mines, they are talking about numbers. So for example, they may need about 20 technicians as against maybe 2 persons that have the degree. You understand? We need more of those who have read welding, fabrication, okay? Because every mining company needs them. And then when they get a job, they move. So I have enough like this. All of them, they need them. So that's the problem we're having, because maybe a company will advertise and say, look, I need 2-3 degree holders or HNE holders in electrical engineering or mechanical engineering, but I need about 20 welders. Okay, so if you do this part 1 thing at ATTC or Taekwondo Technical Institute, and Randy, let me settle on the best example I always give. Why you engineering? Why you didn't go to secondary school? Yesterday he was even in my office. Every mining company has given me a job. You know something? He's gone up to now establish a training school in Takoradi, a huge plant. So he takes these GSS people, or people who didn't finish primary school, train them. So as he's getting jobs at the mines, he takes them along, and then they get trained. You understand that? Yes. And the man has jobs all over. Almost every company gives him a job. So yesterday he passed by and said, look, I've gotten some job at some big place, and that's it. He didn't go to secondary school, so he's become so big that he's not only established a plant by himself, but he's also training people. Okay? So we've been sending a couple of guys there to go and do this practical hands-on training. He can pick somebody who has just finished GSS and train you in welding and fabrication. So as he's going to the mine, he goes with you. 3-4 years, you're okay. Okay? So when he moves on to another job like this, those 3, 4, 5 people he has trained, he leaves them, the mines pick them. So many of the guys are his products. So let's say he gets a job, let's say half enough, to do the fabrication, welding and installation. So some of the people work for him as full-time employees. Then he has these guys who he's training at his Takoradi plant there. He takes them along. Okay? So he works on the project with them 2-3 years, 6 months, 1 year. And then some of the mining companies say, no, we'll keep them. You understand? He went to Takoradi Technical Institute. So Takoradi Technical Institute, Tema Technical Institute, I don't know whether it still exists, what they do now, ATTC. That should be the lifeblood of the industry. Okay. And I'm having to approve expatriate requests for jumbo drivers to be brought from South Africa and other companies. So these jobs, they go like that. Okay, yes. That is it. And you can grow to become, and they've hired a lot of them, they've gone to South Africa. Some of them to, particularly Australia, now that the price of gold is very high. So, Randy, the technical skills.
Is it an issue of...
It's mentality.
As not knowing.
No, 3 things. And I know that, and I believe you know that. Those who go to, this is their mentality. Those who go to ATTC
are dropouts. Or those who couldn't make it.
Technical Institute are dropouts.
Those who couldn't make it. Yes. Regular.
We were even not respecting. Look, like when we finished 6th form 1990, some of our guys or our colleagues couldn't get good grades in that. Those days, 14 can take you to Legon.
Yeah.
Okay? And then those who get 5 or 6 will go and study law at me. Nobody cares about the most sought after course. Our time was BSc admission or law. Yeah. Now who cares? Admin products are there, unemployed. You see, so they go and do their diploma in Ghana Institute of Journalism. Okay? When your colleagues see you, they think you didn't do too well.
Yeah.
Or maybe your maths didn't add up well. So yes, that's it. But then Lagos had some nice program then. They could do postgraduate diploma in mass comm and then do the MA.
Or others after O-level were successful, went through the teacher training route.
That is it. You see. And so it is still there, big time. Okay? So if you like, let's do a survey. Those who have been coming here, you have been doing good morning, I don't know whether 3-4 times a week. You can ask Sami Jemfia here and the other panelists whether if their son should finish SS and he didn't do too well to go and do, let's say, a degree in mining engineering or mechanical engineering, whether you allow that chap to go to Takoradi Technical Institute or ATTC to go and do, let's say, welding part 1 and 2 and get a job at the mine or some of those, he will tell you no. He will tell you no. You should go and do a degree in history or sociology or some other humanities. Okay? That's why some of us got a bit worried. I don't know. I prefer to listen to people and then get educated. I was getting worried when KNUSC was flooding the university with a lot of humanity program.
I think it was financial.
I mean, one of the finest, top-notch engineering schools in the world is MIT. Randy, Mukumukwefeyi law at MIT. Do you understand that? I don't think Princeton University also they study law there. MIT, is top-notch.
MIT is MIT.
MIT is MIT. Okay, Massachusetts Institute of Science and Technology. Okay, if they decide to start a law program today, I mean, people will go there for the sake of the name. You understand that? So why couldn't we keep our KNUs the way it is, and then all of a sudden you have a lot of people doing humanities. So they also started MBA, business school, and a whole lot of arts program. We could have just kept. I think the idea then was to keep KNUs like MIT, kind of, or another serious university, top notch. I want to mention the world. People even say it's the best in science and technology in UK than Oxford and Cambridge. Imperial College.
Yeah.
You don't have a law program at Imperial College. It is just a bespoke science and technology university. Imperial College. Okay? You find very negligible, humanities program. Maybe metal, and they have this beautiful course that sometimes we take our people, the metal finance, okay, economics. I mean, those things, MBA finance, that's it. But you don't find this, so we should have perhaps, maybe I'll find out why they decided to do that. We should have.
I think it was financial.
We should have kept KNUSC like MIT or Imperial College kind of.
It was just financial. Do you know the number of students coming out of secondary school with general arts and business background? It was so huge than science. You understand me? And so they had to cash in.
No, but sometimes people even forget that we do mining engineering at KNUST.
Really?
Yeah, because it's all about UMAT. Okay? People forget that originally mining engineering, metallurgical were being done at KNUST, and even the school in Taka was a college.
Yeah.
So they were doing diploma. I had classmates of mine who after A-level went and read diploma in mine surveying. And they were doing diploma in mining engineering.
Was it a part of UST?
Yes.
Yes.
School of Mines, Takwa.
Yes.
And then the degrees were being awarded by KNUST. Now it's developed into a full-blown university, even up to PhD programs in mining. So you look at Takwa, it's like our MIT or our Imperial College. And they can take you and adjust these courses. I told you this guy I was describing, the electrical engineering guy. Yes, Professor Mankwa was prepared to accept him. I said that the guy wanted to go back to his previous place. So look, it will take, I don't know whether a century for people to change their mind. But you don't need to rush to the university and do a social science program if you don't do well. Even arts. Look, Randy, when you do arts at SS, okay, why don't you go to some of these technical schools and then just do part 1 or 2, a year or 2, and then get a job at the mine? Because we are going to mine till death. Mining is our DNA.
How we've structured the thing is that people who read the sciences in secondary school, even up to university first degree, they can always switch to the humanities. But those who study the humanities, secondary school, you are not allowed to switch to the sciences.
Yes.
But elsewhere, it is allowed. Once you show through the prerequisites, you show that you can adapt. You are then allowed to switch. But here, it appears that when you go through general arts or business, in this republic called Ghana, that's it. You can switch.
But Randy, in your case, you are even taken into a very high level. You are talking about someone who has been read arts. I have presented BC. And these are not easy. People thought we were just speaking, we were just talking anyhow. Or, cheap talk. I've just presented 2 inspectors.
Yes.
Okay? To you.
Yes.
You read it yourself.
0 secondary school.
No secondary school. Let me repeat, no secondary school. One just went to GSS and then did all this certification and all those things. Now he has a mechanical engineering degree. He's worked with 2 big mines. He's an inspector. Principal inspector. The other one started, electrical, Takwadi Technical Institute, intermediate certificate, HND, electronic, and then now he's doing degree. 2 years he's done. He's an inspector, electrical. He knows the stuff. Okay? Yes. And the inspector at Takwa said, Boss, do you know why I never sent you a bill to fix electrical things? This guy was doing it. Okay, just on contract as a cleaner. And then when we wanted to regularize, he presented a CV. I said, no, it doesn't belong here. So these are the facts. Okay, and in the case of this electrical guy, he didn't even go to GSS.
Yeah.
Primary school.
Yes.
Primary school. He's now doing a degree. He's an assistant inspector. The electronic engineering guy who went straight from high school and went to Achimota on Fancy Pim cannot match this guy because this guy is hands-on, very practical. Now, in about 2 years, he come out with a first degree in electrical engineering. And then he will move to go and do the masters at UMass.
And if both of them are on the job market,
yes,
everybody will go for
no,
this
they will
guy.
hire this one first. Okay, one is 45, the other guy is just about 22. Okay, yes, so that is it. Okay,
all right.
And if they resign today, they will hire them at the mines.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is our problem. It's a mentality. So perhaps, and now, you know something, when the mining companies realize that, because I was getting angry when I was getting a request to go and bring a jumbo driver, and they were not getting. The Ghanaians that have been trained, they've left for Australia, and then $3,000, $5,000 extra. So we have to go and bring them from. Even recently, there's a request to bring somebody from South Africa. Okay, that's it. Another area, ventilation. Most sought after. A lot of underground mines now. So Presa is underground, Obuasi is underground. Menzin has an underground working. They will develop it very soon. Newmont is underground. Okay? Chirano is underground. Almost all the small-scale mines in Takwa are underground. In the northern region, particularly Savannah, all the small-scale workings are underground. So it means that our inspectors have to be trained in ventilation. You joke with them, they will leave you. You understand? So we take them outside to South Africa and Australia to go and learn new things about ventilation. And one of these days, I'll take you to the mine, you enter, and then you look at the ventilation. So when I entered here, the studio was looking like a typical mine, the way the whole place is structured. So Randy, technical skills, practical skills is the way to go. It is just to let parents who are listening to me that, look, folks at ATTC, Takoradi Technical Institute and Co. are not drop-ups. They are the ones that the mines want. And I'll not hide this, the mining sector is the best paid job in Ghana. Okay, yes, look at the price of gold now. So they are hiring a lot of people.
Right.
So Atlantic Lithium very soon, Cardinal, and then Azuma, all these welders. Okay, and then we certify them. So let me show you one more. Read it. You don't need to read their name. So they have applied to the Minerals Commission to certify them.
Okay. All right. Competency certification.
Yes, then lest I forget, do you still have this institution, National Vocational Training Institute?
Yes, NVTI.
Yeah. So this is somebody who went to NVTI,
yes,
and then in the trade of welding. So look at where he has gotten a job. Newmont, Ahafo Underground.
Yes.
He's been taken as a boiler maker. So the company that has a contract has applied to the Chief Inspector of Mines. You don't need to mention their name.
Yeah.
Boiler maker, electrical instrumentation. We are not interested in degrees here. So these guys have jobs, they are working. The humanities guys are still at home. Okay? I get a lot of applications for people to be employed. I tell them I don't need humanities at the Minerals Commission.
6 masters degrees.
I don't need them. I don't need them. We need engineers. You understand? We need engineers. Those who have done engineering, they are the ones that we need. So sometimes when I see some of this instrumentation and all these ATT people, I take them. So I'm going to have a special session with the Technical Institute, particularly Takoradi Technical Institute, ATTC. Because we build a database now. So I also want to build a database of the technical skills at the very low level, which they can upgrade, get them, and then send them to the mines. I mean, expatriate jumbo. Okay? They've all gone to Australia.
Right.
So there is something fundamental. I mean, I'm happy you understand it. There's something fundamentally wrong with us. And to wrap up, I was reading the newspaper and I realized that a team from Canada, they've gone to Germany to go and study the German system. So when I read it, they said Germany has the lowest youth employment in the developed world. It is because, you see, you see two different worlds. Here you are seen as a dropout. You didn't do well in school. You didn't pass your A-level. That's why you went to GIG to go and do diploma in journalism. Okay? But in the German system, you can go to the university first year or technical school, and then first year go and work. Okay? Even work like 3-4 years, come back and complete a degree. Or even work first year, second year. Like let's say in a typical German situation, the guy at UMass, he can do first year, second year. You know, first year, long vac, you go to the mine, come back. Then he will complete level 100. Second year, complete level 200. So 2 years at UMass, he's not got a degree yet. He can go and work in the mine. Work like 3-4 years. Come back, or even if he gets to a third year, come back and finish his degree. That's how the German system works like. So they are the envy of the world, and everybody has come to accept the German system. The horrible opposite is the situation in Ghana, and I saw it in practically every African country. The ATTC guy is a dropout. The guy at Takoradi Technical Institute is a dropout. He doesn't know anything. But these are two practical examples. So those guys who have brought their BSc, humanities, sociology, English, and all those, I'm not interested in you. I'm interested in these guys. Okay, these electrical guys, these mechanical guys. So Randy, we need to do a lot. So these are Minister for Education. That's what he meant. Okay, it will take ages to catch up. Ages. People don't know, but it will take ages. That's it.
All right. Okay. So we'll continue next week. There's a lot to still talk about.
Will my son go to university and go and read social science? No.
Okay.
He'll go because
not because social science is not important.
Yes.
But do we need the numbers that we are producing?
Randa, the problem is that 20 humanities, 2 engineers or 2 technicians.
You know, so I've always said that our biggest problem as a country, and I think last week or 2 weeks ago when we started this program, I made that point. That you see, when we had the huge numbers, the bulge, from secondary to tertiary, and the space at the top was small because we have a pyramid, you know, what we should have done as a country, and this is basic, and I don't know why we still haven't done it, is to ask yourself, what kind of country do we desire to be? What are the skill sets that are needed?
The skill set is what I've read to you.
So what do we need to do? So once you identify that, then you come to the realization that you need to focus on this. You need to grant incentives for, because I tell people that at the university level, you know, it's easier to set up a tertiary institution for the humanities than to set up a tertiary institution for science, engineering, technology.
Yeah.
Because it is cost intensive now. So if those are the skills that you require, then that will inform policy. That if we want the private sector to go heavy into tertiary education, we need more numbers in this area. And therefore, we must influence the private sector to go into that direction.
And close down some of the programs at the university.
And if you don't do that, the private man gets up and he sees that, oh, well, there is people want to do HR, people just want to do a degree. So let me set up a place. I've got a 1-story place. I can do a unit for humanities. I can get 200 people coming in or 300 people coming in every year. All I need are people with a master's degrees and those things, a whiteboard, an air conditioner, a fun place, and I run a university.
I have an application before me. The guy has a BA, and guess what? He has classics.
In fact, quite a number of
some British universities are closing down some departments.
Quite a number of these young people do not even know. They are desirous of tertiary education. So anything that comes their way, they will take it.
Randy,
you don't have guidance as far as this is concerned.
My father's brother-in-law, when I was giving admission at Legon, okay, let me tell you, the thing is so pervasive. Randy, anybody who is giving admission to go and study physics, chemistry, or biology, do you know what they will tell you? He's coming to become a teacher. He will become a teacher.
Yes.
Because
he didn't get medicine.
In fact, I'm taking my mind back to my A-level days. After our results, there were some guys who were studying mathematics. They saw raw maths.
Yes.
They were giving raw maths 4 years at KNUST. Today, then that tells you that the guidance and counseling system is horrible.
Oh yes.
Now, when I came into the mining sector, and then I got exposed, and I realized that, oh my God, I will support any day if my son wants to do first degree in mathematics.
Yeah. All right. So we'll continue next week.
We have a problem. We have
big
a serious
big one.
The education minister is doing his best, but we have we need to change our mindset.
And it's fundamental. It's something we must start from the base. And so we'll continue this discussion next week. It's been quite insightful as always. I have an exclusive one-on-one interview tomorrow. So it's Easter Friday. But tomorrow I have a one-on-one with the former finance minister of this republic, the Honorable Seth Tekpe. So tomorrow is a special edition.
Tax expert.
A one-on-one with the Honorable Seth Tekpe. That's for the Easter Friday. Up next.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
It's that time of the year again when we want to feel Ghanaian, vibe Ghanaian, and be Ghanaian even more than ever. This is Ghana, and this is Metro TV bringing you This is Ghana Easter Sales Expo. Get ready for the ultimate Easter shopping experience. Join us at This is Ghana Easter Sales Expo happening from March 29th to March 31st, 2020.